there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. Oh man, I've been so bad for this event. Ah, you know it's fine though. I'm gonna go through it. I believe in myself. Everything's gonna be fine. Ah, ha 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 ha. Ooh, managed to unlock majority of the part 1-4 notes and all endings. Oh, nice. Yay. But yeah, I didn't touch anything for this event. I know it's horrible. Like, I should be touching more, but I was just... I don't know what happened to me. Like, dang self, you deserve to be bonked. But it's okay, you know, there's still time. So Echo of Dawn, a long-awaited reunion caught in misunderstandings clutches. What is to be done to preserve the inklings of light in a vast darkness? I guess I'll find out soon enough. An opportunity for reunion, a possibility of certainty. We shall meet in the end. Tweak! With a deafening screech, the doors to the intercontinental train car slowly grind open. A green-tinted figure rides the flow of the crowd into the cabin and quickly strides over to her cramped window seat. Oh yeah. I was supposed to stream Starro yesterday, but little bro wanted his birthday stuff last night. Like, I really thought he was gonna want it like today or tomorrow, but he's like, nah, I want steak. So I was being polite, you know. I gotta be a good sibling every so often. And I still love how the cats are in the background. Like, look at those kitties. So majestic. I'm on the train. I'll be back once the request is complete. Diana will manage the squad's affairs while I'm away. I would also urge everyone to rationally consider my proposal. Hey, hello. Wait, really? I'm getting to the event before you too? We're all just ignoring this event. Oh no! After sending the message to the squad's chat group, Zhaohui puts down her comm terminal and turns her gaze outside the train window. Somewhere, in a place where she cannot see, a gigantic MBV is encamped in the wilderness, over 10 kilometers away from the supply station. True, you are super busy. I hope things are okay at like the conference. Just then, metal shutters close over the armored glass windows of the cabin, obscuring everything from view. The event story's a good one? Ooh! With nothing to look at, Zhaohui shifts her gaze to look inside the cabin. More and more people file into the cabin, filling up the seats around her. Soon, there's a loud whistling as a fully loaded train lurches into motion, gradually picking up speed as it pulls out of this tiny supply station. Even ran out of time to finish the most recent GFL1 collab event story. Oh no! And also away from the Elmo. 1 week ago, aboard the Elmo has set off once again after the mission to render emergency assistance to 404. We're heading towards Lviv to keep with our promise with Kalina. Ooh, conference in this morning? Hey, nice. How was the baseball game? Okay, I gotta know too. How's the weather? How is the California weather? Ever since we got caught up in this crazy commission, the masterminds hidden within the shadows have gradually come to the fore. As a result, the agreement that has bound me for 10 years has begun to lapse, and the number of dolls who just so happen to return to the Elmo has grown as well. I love the description. Just so happened to return to the Elmo. Hot and dry the usual. Ah, wonderful. While meeting old friends again is always a joyous occasion, it does lead to some awkward moments at times. Like, it's been hot over here too. Right now it's still in the 80s. For instance, a herd of obshares in a place like this? That does seem to be the case. What should we do about them, Commander? 3 minutes ago, I was chatting idly with the others when I got a report from Mei-Ling. The Elmo encountered a herd of obshares while cruising across the landscape. I reflexively began issuing orders to the dolls around me in order to get us into action quickly and minimize damage to the MBV's undercarriage. Wait, they've been saying it's been cold at night? Cold? Cold? During summertime? Since Arasi, Macchiato, guard the forward engine, Monsoon Squad will cover the rear. Dayan, Jiangyu, and Zhao Hui flank from behind and pick off any upshares that approach. Joel. Understood. Time for me to show my stuff. Oh, it gets into the 60s usually at night. You know what sounds decent? Okay, maybe a little bit chilly, but decent. Better than right now. My room is in the 80s, even at night. I haven't been sleeping in my room. I've been avoiding it because I'm like, it's too hot in here. Goodbye, room. As I finish giving orders, the dolls reply in the affirmative, one after another. The sole exception is a doll in green before me, who's stroking her knife as she quirks up an eyebrow. Am I a part of this operation too? I smile sheepishly as I look at her. Okay, bringing a jacket's not bad. I gotta find out where I put my Corona jacket. Oh no. I haven't touched that jacket in so long. Ever since the Japan trip, I just switched back to work jackets. Well, am I? After realizing what I've done, I look at Zhao Hui, and the embarrassed smile fades from my face. During the years since I left Griffin, Dayan Jiangyu and CZ75, who hadn't arrived in time to meet me, found each other in the contamination zones, started traveling together, and eventually formed a Bandcom tactical squad. Monsoon Squad. When Dayan and Jiangyu came to my aid, Zhao Hui, the leader of the Monsoon Squad, accompanied them without complaint. Strictly speaking, however, she and her squad are not part of the Elmo, and as such, I have no authority over her or any right to give her orders. I'm sorry. I started barking orders without realizing it, and I didn't seek your opinion on the matter. Still, this is something of an emergency, so would you mind if I borrowed 2 of your members for the time being? Naturally, if you're willing to help out too. I don't mind at all. As the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That said, Monsoon Squad has not conducted many joint operations with the other tactical units in the past, so we're not really used to it. Aw, what do you mean you're not used to it? Just stay in the Elmo for a few more days and you'll be right at home. Jiangyu walks over with a cheerful smile on her face and pats Zhao Hui on the shoulder. The commander's super trustworthy, you know. When it comes to fighting, just leave everything to her. Right, let's go then. Zhao Hui nods and says no more. She follows Jiangyu and the others as they jog down the corridor. As I watch her eye-catching green silhouette shrink into the distance, I shake my head. Rosa hears me and approaches. Tactical tablet in hand. Commander, should we hold a welcome party for Monsoon Squad? I just checked. We have some decorations left over in the storeroom. Oh yay, another party. I love how quick we are to party here. No, let's leave the welcome party for later. We still don't know what Monsoon thinks about all this. And CC75 isn't with them either. It'll be very awkward if they end up declining our offer. In that case, what if we have Monsoon Squad put on a guerrilla performance? Haha, my savings in GFL2, what savings? Because I want more Klukai. They just finished an emergency reinforcement mission, so having them put on a show would be a way for them to relax. You can use this as an opportunity to have a good chat with the rest of Monsoon too. That does sound like it's worth a try. Can you help me make the arrangements, Groza? Just leave it to me. Oh yes, Commander, there's one more thing. She hands me her tablet. The screen shows a new email from Brief. Investigate unusual Varjager activity. Brief sure knows how to saddle me with more work. Can we not take this one? We barely just scraped together these few days of free time. But Klukai, I do like her. Though I want more McD too. Just because I like them. Oh, the pain of all the gacha games though. Ah! Especially once AX comes around. Ah! But it'll be worth it, you know? I just gotta steer it. Work every so often and be like, hi. Ah ha ha ha. Ooh! Your platoon finally finished in the top 5%. Ain't nice. Oh, they must have been so happy. I hope they sent out a nice message rather than a passive-aggressive one. Oh gosh. Those games are tempting, not gonna lie. Uma Musume. Never actually watched the show, but... Chorus Girl's cute. Persona. I hear it's fun. Never actually played the game either, but... I hear it's fun, so But Commander, the payout for this commission is the biggest we've recently gotten, and besides, brief hands-out commissions based on the contractor's previous performance. Let me guess. We're in the red again. We're always in the red. You know, that's a good question. How is the platoon? I never look at the rank. Most perceptive, Commander. We spent a lot on the operation to assist 404. And now that we have more people on the Elmo, we may have to throw ourselves on Miss Callan's mercy when we arrive in Lviv. Haha. At this rate, it'll be a mercy if we actually make it into Lviv in the first place. Oh, that's so cute! Top 5%, top 5%, top 5%! Take care of this commission too. We'll head out once Monsoon Squad does their show. Understood. I want to see their show. 2 days ago, on the Elmo. The lounge is packed with people even though it's close to midnight. Monsoon Squad's first Guerrilla Live has just ended in a resounding success. By the way, that table in the background, is that hot sauce? Those red bottles? Marvelous! Your dancing was magical, Jiangyu! I thought Miss Diane's Guzeng music was moving too. I preferred Miss Xiaohui's Suona accompaniment. The solo near the end was quite stirring. Upon hearing people praise them, Jiangyu puffs up her chest with a smug look on her face. How's that, Commander? I did well, didn't I? Yes you did. My hands are actually sore from clapping. Too bad we couldn't do the complete show because Frey isn't here. If all of Monsoon were here and we had Faye to play the drums for us, we'd really bring the house down. Isn't that right, big sis? Xiaohui? Oh man, how am I today? I'm surviving. Ugh, work was horrendous. It was brutal with all the construction sounds. And then the heat. And then walking around. And then deciding what we're gonna do for the rest of the week. At this point, my boss is like, you know what? Let's relocate somewhere. It's unbearable. Jiangyu merely grabs Sayan with one hand and Xiaohui with the other, placing herself between them. That wasn't even the loudest it was for that clip I posted. Like, that's the worst part. I had some other clips that I sent like to one of my friends because I'm like, yo girl, check out my workplace. And she thought it was disgusting. She's like, oh my goodness, what's going on there? I'm like, yeah, that's just how it'd be right now. I could barely hear anything. It was so bad trying to help people too. Yes, I do hope Faye will be able to return soon. My dear sister's been rather listless while handling the drums without Faye around to be her sparring partner. Every member of Monsoon truly is indispensable. Diane smiles and squishes Jiangyu's cheeks. In contrast, Xiaohui puts the Suona away and silently takes a step away from the group. That'll depend on the circumstances. At times, removing an unnecessary chord improves the piece as a whole. What's that supposed to mean? Since when did Big Sis put unnecessary stuff into her work? There aren't any in Monsoon's compositions, but the same does not necessarily apply to others. Xiaohui shoots me a meaningful look. Huh? What do you mean, others? You're just looking for a reason to slack off, aren't you? Big sis, see what she's doing! Jiang Yu pouts in annoyance, but Zhao Hui pays her no further heed, merely nodding to me in acknowledgement. Before leaving the group entirely, she finds a quiet corner and begins looking at her communications terminal. Ooh! Yay for no more pain! Oh yeah, that might have been a heat stroke in that case. Ah! The lounge is warmly lit and full of life. The screen figure seems to radiate an aura that deters others. Occasionally, curious dolls try to approach her, but in the end they are driven off by Zhao Hui's cold intensity. I should take this opportunity to speak with Zhao Hui. After making up my mind, I began heading toward her. However, right as I do, Zhao Hui suddenly puts her terminal away and approaches me instead. Commander, are you free? There's something I'd like to discuss with you. Of course, in fact. I was just about to speak to you. Zhao Hui raises an eyebrow in surprise. I'll get right to it then. Commander, I would like to leave the Elmo for a while. Pardon? Please don't get me wrong. This is purely a personal matter. A friend of mine needs my help with a commission, and I think that it's a good chance to consider the future for you, me, and the Monsoon Squad. Zhao Hui's words take me completely by surprise. Still, she has a point. This is a good chance for her to take some time and consider the future of the Monsoon Squad. By all means, I have no objection to that. Thank you, Commander. That's all I have to say. You said you wanted to speak to me? All the words I had in mind seemed to lose all meaning in the face of Zhao Hui's calm expression. Oh well, perhaps now is not the right time. It's nothing. We can talk about it when you get back. Since you're heading out, you should talk to your teammates about it. After giving up on the idea of having an in-depth conversation with Zhao Hui, I nod to her and leave the lounge. Zhao Hui watches the commander leave, and then she turns her gaze to Jiang Yu and Diane, who are in the middle of a throng of dolls. Should she interrupt this lively gathering now, Zhao Hui wonders. However, Diane seems to sense Zhao Hui looking at her, and she soon exits the group to approach the latter. Zhao Hui? What were you talking about with the commander just now? She was just saying hello. Was she? You seem rather subdued tonight for some reason. Are you still not used to this place? I apologize for not being considerate. It was my fault for asking you to come all the way out here with us. There's a worried look on Diane's face, as though she already knows what's weighing on Zhao Hui's heart. However, Zhao Hui dismisses it with a slight shake of her head. You don't have to apologize. We're a team, and it's only natural that we should travel together. Trusting in you was also a collective decision, and Faye would have come too if she were able. Thank you. With that being said, would you like to meet some of my past friends? Miss Groza mentioned that she'd hoped tonight would help you get acquainted with everyone, but it appears to have inconvenienced you instead. Zhao Hui shakes her head again. There's no need for that. We still have a lot of time. We don't have to rush things. After this roundabout refusal, the two of them briefly fall silent. Zhao Hui once again glances toward the center of the lounge, where Jiang Yu is happily discussing the finer points of her performance with several of the Elmo dolls in the space that was cleared out for the show. She contemplates her words for a moment, and then she speaks again. What do you plan to do after this? Will you stay in the Elmo? What we plan to do? Zhao Hui, are you saying you're not going to stay with us? I am simply unsure as to whether remaining here is the right choice. Monsoon Squad ought to be like the wind, should we not? Constantly on the move, constantly setting out on new travels. At the very least, that was what I believed when I first agreed to become leader. Zhao Hui. Hey, big sis. Zhao Hui, what's going on? You both look so serious. Let me in on it too. Upon seeing Diane and Zhao Hui whispering to each other, Jiang Yu immediately excuses herself and scampers over, inserting herself between the two of them. Jiang Yu, we're discussing Monsoon's future. Zhao Hui doesn't give Diane the chance to soften the blow. Yeah, it would be super awkward. It's like, well, you guys are close with Commander. I don't know this person. Oh, so she wants to travel. If she really wants to travel. Yeah, staying in one place would feel kind of weird too, especially. If we remain in the Elmo, then will Monsoon still be Monsoon? I want to know what you and Faye think about all this. Of course we will. Monsoon's the same anywhere we go, right? No, wait. Why are you talking about this all of a sudden? And why did you bring Faye into this? What are you getting at, Xiaohui? After her outburst, Jiang Yu glances over at Diane's frowning face, and the understanding gradually dawns on her. Wait, are you saying you want to break up Monsoon? Jiang Yu's sudden exclamation draws a few curious looks from the nearby dolls. Jiang Yu grabs Xiaohui by the shoulders and starts shaking her, not daring to believe her ears. Xiaohui remains silent, neither nodding nor shaking her head. But why? We're a team, aren't we? Even if you're the leader, you can't decide to break us up like that, just like that. Yes, Xiaohui. Even if you're not used to the Elmo. Calm down and listen to me. I didn't say I was going to break up Monsoon. Xiaohui calmly raises her terminal and shows it to the two of them. I might be the squad leader, but I've never once felt that Monsoon's fate is mine to decide. I know that the Elmo and the Commander have a place in your hearts, just as I know Monsoon has a place in ours. Therefore, what I put forward was merely a suggestion, one that requires Faye's involvement as well. Let me see. Jiang Yu studies the terminal and finds the latest message in the squad's group chat. I would like you to decide on the future of Monsoon Squad's roster before I finish my commission. Huh? Wait, what commission? Did Monsoon Squad get a new commission? No, not Monsoon Squad, just me. I received a personal request from an old friend just now. Do you remember Amita? That name sounds familiar. Isn't she that broker friend of yours who saved you and helped fix up your frame? Indeed. She asked me to help bodyguard a friend of hers. I checked the location of the commission, and it's located in a nearby city. It's just a few hours away by train. Huh? So you're going to run off by yourself to handle a commission, you're leaving us here to what? Decide whether you're staying or going? Xiaohui, do we even need to think about this? Jiang Yu. Of course you do. Monsoon has never encountered a situation like this before, and I believe that we all need to take some time to think about it. In any case, I've already spoken to the commander about leaving the Elmo for the time being. I see. So that exchange just now was... Did the commander agree to it? Xiaohui nods. Alright, I understand. Big sis! Jiang Yu tugs unhappily at Daya's sleeves. But the latter merely nods. It seems she has accepted Xiaohui's suggestion. In that case, how much time will we have to decide? Xiaohui turns to look at Diane. Her expression seems much more composed in contrast to Diane's worried look and Jiang Yu's scowling face. Not too long. The commission will be 2 weeks long. I hope that when we meet again, we'll be able to make a decision that none of us will regret. And now for another plan. Ooh. Wait, the enemy units. Rather than trying to sweet-talk the refugee, perhaps eliminating the competition will be more efficient. Huh? Oh my. How's this gonna go? Oh my, oh my. Tap, tap, tap. The crisp sound of footsteps echoes down the alley. Xiaohui follows the address displayed on her terminal and turns a corner into yet another rundown alley. The already poor lighting is obscured further by the tall, crumbling walls around her, making the cramped alley appear even more oppressive. Are Ida and Talia troop really located here? Xiaohui comes to a halt as she eyes her surroundings in suspicion before checking the terminal again. However, the terminal indicates that the blinking icon of her destination is close by. Looks like they are. Still, this commission of Amita's is really... 2 days ago on the Elmo. Xiaohui's terminal has been vibrating throughout the show. Upon noticing the name blinking on the screen, Xiaohui quickly excuses herself and leaves. After finding a quiet corner, Xiaohui takes the call. What's the matter, Amita? Xiaohui, you free? Can you help bodyguard a friend of mine? Her theater troupe is going on tour in the Yellow Zones for a couple of weeks, but she's been really unlucky lately and keeps getting harassed by weirdos, so I'm a little worried. Oh, that sounds terrible. I wanted to hire a PMC squad to protect her, but she said the troupe couldn't afford to hire security. and they were worried that the security people would interfere with the performances because they don't know about the showbiz. Plus, she said that she didn't want me to pay and basically just shot down all my suggestions. So I thought and thought about who I knew that could fight and understood this theater stuff, and in the end, only you came to mind. But if she won't accept bodyguards, then how am I supposed to protect her? Hehe, I've got a brilliant plan. Just say you're a friend of mine, and that you want to join her troupe as an assistant to gain some performance experience. She's a nice person, and I'm sure she'll say yes if she hears that a friend needs help. I didn't say I was free to take the commission. Hehe, but you answered me. That means you're definitely open to it. Her name is Ida. This is where she and her troupe are staying for the time being. Please help me out. I'll pay you for this. You don't have to. It'll be doing you a favor. After ensuring that the address is correct, Xiaohui heads into the depths of the twisted alley. Just then, a scream comes from within. Aye! The panic shriek seems especially loud in the dark confines of the alley. Xiaohui breaks into a sprint as she runs toward the source of the sound. But then she sees a dark shape suddenly burst out of the shadows and dart past her. Help! He took my bag! Stop him! Before the voice finishes speaking, Xiaohui has already turned around and is hot on the heels of the robber. The robber clearly doesn't expect Xiaohui to catch up so soon and pulls out a knife, swinging it wildly at her. Xiaohui nimbly evades the slashing knife and kicks it away before grabbing the robber's arm with lightning speed. With a quick reversal of her grip to take him off his feet, she slams him to the ground and pins him there. Dang, girl! Oh my, oh my! True, the module level 2. I gotta see her trust with me. Because earlier it was because of lack of trust. But ooh, I'm happy that she's doing good in IS5. Woohoo! The robber should have been me. Grr! Oh, that hurts! Humph. Xiaohui ignores the robber's cries of pain and unwinds the cloth from her arm, using it to hogtie the man. After that, she picks up the bag the robber was holding and heads back to the depths of the alley. There's a boy there who is struggling to get to his feet. A hat lies before him on the dusty alley ground. Stare. Xiaohui walks up to him, then picks up the hat before stuffing it in the bag into the boy's hands. Here, your things. Yes. The boy is clearly so shocked as he numbly accepts his belongings from her. Xiaohui gently pats his shoulder, like she's trying to console him. It's okay, just catch your breath. I'll contact the police. They'll send someone over to take care of this soon. Thank you! After hugging his bag and panting heavily for a bit, the boy finally manages to calm down. He stands up, dusts himself off, and puts his hat back on his head before bowing slightly to Xiaohui. Thank you very much for your help just now. In stark contrast to his tatty clothes, the boy's voice is clear and compelling. Don't worry about it, it was nothing. Still, why'd you come here by yourself? Do you live here? I guess, sort of. The truth is, I came here to collect inspiration. I'm from an acting troupe. We have a play where we're going to perform while doing a charity tour in the Yellow Zone, but my gut told me that there was room for improvement, so I asked everyone in the troupe to come here to take in the surroundings so we could understand the audience better. See? I look just like a Yellow Zoner, right? Well, you do look like the Yellow Zone residents I've seen before. See? Everyone in the troupe was saying that this outfit was perfect for the female lead to wear while traveling in the Yellow Zone. The female lead? Xiaohui scans the boy again. Yep, our play is about two girls becoming friends and adventuring in various parts of the world. No, what I want to ask is, you're a girl? The boy blinks, then reaches up to his hat. She removes it, and a shock of soft, combed hair spills out as she laughs merrily. Yup, 100% girl right here. Look at my immersive style of cultural inspiration was a great success. Immersive style? This outfit might look raggedy and all, but it's an actual stage costume. I'm wearing it I'm wearing this so I can get into character more easily. Still, I didn't expect to get robbed even though I look so destitute. Just my luck, I guess. Though... Although, when you think about it, it's quite common for people in these areas to get robbed too. Maybe I should try and work this part into the script as well. The girl pulls out her terminal and quickly notes it down. The girl's panic from just now seems to fade as she gets more and more into her immersive cultural inspiration. It is only when she finally finishes making her notes that she realizes that there is someone beside her, waiting patiently. I'm sorry. I ended up getting carried away and babbling nonsense. You must have been bored, right? I mean, thank you very much for what you did just now. I'm an actress from the Italia troupe. May I know who you... Hello. I'm Xiaohui. Xiaohui holds out her hand to her. A faint, slightly rigid curve tugging at the corners of her lips. Do you know perhaps Miss Ida of the Italia troupe? Eh? And that's what happened, manager. Yes, I need more star rail. More stellar jades, especially since Saber and Archer come out July 11. But I'm glad they're gonna be there for a while, but What do you think, Miss Xiaohui? Can she join us? She comes highly recommended by that broker friend of mine. After returning to the troupe's temporary quarters, the girl explains Xiaohui's circumstances to the troupe manager. The manager gives Xiaohui's CV a once-over and is very pleased by it. I didn't expect you to be a doll with both stage and combat experience, Miss Xiaohui. Is that broker friend of yours who's vouching for her the one who burst into tears while watching our previous show? If I'm not wrong, her name sounded like yours. Something... Da? That's her, yes. Her name's Amita. She might be small, but she's a big figure in the underground broker business. I want to see Amita. Of course we're gonna start 50-50. Rate up's a lie. Yes, I remember her. The contamination zones really do breed talented people. The manager looks at Xiaohui. To be honest, we're really hurting for manpower for this tour. Anyone with plenty of experience and who can handle many roles is more than welcome to join us, doll or otherwise. However, this is a charity tour in the contamination zones. We won't be making much in the way of fees, and the troop budget is... well, your salary might be... The manager smiles bitterly. It's alright. I'm here to get experience. Being paid for it is secondary. I'm glad that doesn't bother you. So, is that a yes, manager? Ooh, good night, sweet dreams. Of course. Frankly speaking, I need to thank you for joining us on such short notice, Miss Xiaohui. The troop manager looks at Xiaohui and holds out a welcoming hand. Glad to have you with us, Miss Xiaohui. The Talia troop welcomes you. Beside the manager, Ida laughs and pats Xiaohui on the shoulder. Yup. Well, we travel buddies going forward, Miss Xiaohui. Ta-da! And now we choose violence. Okay, this is fine. Whee! I want to see just how bad her luck is. Like, how bad's Ido's luck? Like, getting robbed first thing is oof. Like, girl, And now bonk. Whee! Okay, pretty good. No fear. Just a little bit more. Vector's so cool too. Ta-da! You split your Tololo, who you're planning to dupe 6? Ooh! Kelly dupe 0, but is finishing building her, and he somehow got her at 172% crit damage. Oh my goodness. Yo, that is impressive. I'm doing so bad for my attachments. Eventually I'll be good. The Talia Troops convoy pulls slowly into the settlement and comes to a halt amidst loud cheering. A vehicle door opens and the troop dismounts, depositing huge crates on a patch of open ground. The girl at her head gives everyone present a breezy greeting. The wrinkles between Zhao Hui's eyebrows soften a little as she takes in the boisterous crowd outside. She drags a couple of heavy crates from the cargo bed and follows after the girl. Where are we putting these crates? Just put them beside the advertising billboards for now. Zhao Hui? Those crates are kind of heavy, aren't they? You should let the props department move them. That's alright. It's no trouble for me. As she says so, Zhao Hui hoists the crates into a large circular clearing that's ringed by a fence of wooden posts and old rope. She lays the crates in the center of the space reserved for the stage, then bends down to straighten a bunch of simple-looking billboards. Said billboards were made just for the show. Their painted surfaces are covered in huge, eye-catching letters. The Daybreak's Oath plays now on tour. As she sees what Zhao Hui is doing, the girl laughs and heads over to help. You're way too nice. While we took you on as assistant, you ended up doubling as an escort and took out all those elites too. That must have been hard. You don't need to take on all the other tasks as well. Not at all. I'm helping myself by doing that too. There aren't many troops out there who welcome doll assistants, and I'd like more show experience myself. Aw, don't say that. You know the state our troops in. We're lucky enough to have people wanting to help out. We don't have the right to be picky. Speaking of which, are you trying to build up this experience because of that band of yours? I remember Amita said something about, Monsoon or something. What a nice name. Going wherever you please, like the wind. You must have been to a lot of places in the past, right? Zhao Hui's hands freeze mid-movement, but only for a moment. Yes, we've been to many satellite cities. So you get to travel and perform with your friends. I'm so envious. Ida smiles and sighs quietly. For some reason, there's a hint of sadness in her expression. Miss Ida? Is something wrong? Miss Ida, aren't you traveling with the troops too? Yeah, but everyone here is a friend of mine. But there are times when I wish we had a closer friend around. Well, let's leave that aside for now. I suddenly remember that it's going to be a while before rehearsals. So could you do me a favor, Miss Zhao Hui? What do you need? Ida pulls a copy of the script and her comm terminal from her bag. Well, I heard one of the residents say that there was an abandoned town around here, not far from our camp. Could you accompany me there? I'd like to take this opportunity to gather more inspiration about the Yellow Zone. I'm sure the manager and the others will feel better with you around, right, manager? Ida waves to the manager, who's fairly close by. After seeing her sunny smile, the manager has no choice but to wave back. Go ahead, but don't take too long and stay safe. I'll be fine with Miss Zhao Hui around, don't worry. Let's head out then, Miss Zhao Hui. Our jeep is this way. Follow me. This will totally be safe. Like, what's the worst that'll happen? It's not like we're gonna be jumped by a bunch of elids. That'd be crazy. It's fine, completely fine. Ta-da! Look, this is such a safe walk to the jeep. So incredibly safe. Nothing at all bad is happening here. Ahahaha. Ta-da! All is well. Turn 2. No fear. And... steer. No pain. Ta-da! Screech! In keeping with Ida's request, Zhao Hui brings the jeep to a halt on the streets of the abandoned town. The moment it stops, Ida practically bursts out the door and runs over to the stand in front of the cluster of ruined buildings. No, these look pretty intact. Aw, the walls on the side collapsed and the pipes are all rusted though. Still, they make a good reference, along with the abandoned cabling here. I should get footage of the cracks on the walls too. Ida holds the terminal up and begins recording her surroundings as she walks forward. What a shame, this town is completely ruined. I wonder why. Elids, collapse radiation. Variagers, take your pick. Xiaohui keeps a watchful eye on the surroundings as she walks behind Ida. Still, I can see old signs of a firefight. Perhaps the residents fought Variagers here. I see. Those Variagers really are everywhere, aren't they? Looks like you need to know how to defend yourself when traveling the yellow zones. Ida's mood turns morose all of a sudden. However, she soon perks up and begins rattling off questions while filming her surroundings. Miss Xiaohui, since you travel with your friends all the time, you must have passed through the yellow zones quite often, right? Are your friends as awesome as you are? Yes, they're skilled at both fighting and performing. Wow, that's amazing! Then, are they in tour recently? Why didn't they come with you? The sudden question about why she had parted ways with her friends catches Xiaohui off guard, and she lapses into silence. Aww. Oh no. There was one run that you failed, but instead of seeing the end credits of your run, instead you're taken to a node where they were untitled, taking you to a stage where you see a Mia just floating, slowly moving? Can't even deploy your operators, you can only watch her ending your run as she slowly makes the tiles undeployable, like Yelena's ice. Oh my goodness, that is brutal! Holy cow! After thinking about her answer for a bit, Xiaohui is about to speak when she hears a suspicious sound, footsteps on a paved road, and the sound of an unfamiliar male voice speaking.
Shh. Didn't you say you saw that woman leave the troop with her friend? Where the hell is she? Search harder. The jeep's by the side of the road. They can't have gotten far.
Before Ida can react, Xiaohui grabs her hand and ducks behind a nearby wall with her. Xiaohui looks Ida in the eye, then shakes her head as she speaks in a quiet voice.
Shh, we're being followed.
What?
I don't know who they are, but it seems they're gunning for you. There are two of them.
Wait, me? Ida's body begins to tremble. Sensing Ida's fear, Xiaohui gently but firmly presses down her shoulder. Ida, what is with your luck for reals? Oh my goodness, girl.
Ida, have you ever seen an upside-down tortoise? Their little legs flailing in the air as they try to get upright.
What?
Stay here and don't move. I'll show you now.
Right as she finishes speaking, Xiaohui springs out of cover. The green flash her bullets, and her blades streak through the air toward the two men peering to the rubble. They're instantly thrown into disarray and stumble back to the ruined walls, completely off balance.
Wow! I love how they actually have an F-bomb here. The fuck are you running for? Shoot her, she's just one girl. She's too fast, I can't even grarg!
The green-colored flash interrupts his reply with a kick, and his attempt at striking back is cut off by an emerald knife hand strike. The leading man goes down and Xiaohui steps in to fill the gap. Green-tinted knife slices through the air in front of the other man, cutting off his escape and cornering him in an instant. In less time than it takes to draw a breath, the knife's edge presses against the man's throat, and Xiaohui speaks coldly.
Freeze.
Using ropes from the jeep, Xiaohui trusses them up like turkeys and leaves them tied upside down by the roadside. She then dusts off her hands before lightly clapping a hand on Ida's shoulder.
See? Upside-down tortoises. Won't be winning any races with bunnies, that's for sure.
The bound men are struggling and appear to be trying to speak, but their gags prevent them from doing so. All they can manage are muffled vocalizations. As Ida watches them squirm in their bonds, the tension finally leaks from her and she laughs. I feel much better now. Thank you, Xiaohui.
You're welcome. Still, who are these people? Why would they go after you?
I don't know. Ida bites her lip and shakes her head. Upon seeing that Ida's completely clueless, Xiaohui walks up and pulls out a gag from one of them.
Why are you following Ida? Who sent you? Our employer told us to follow the lead actress of the troupe. We're just doing this because we were paid. We don't know anything. Who hired you? Shh, it was an anonymous request made through the underground markets. How the hell would we know? Why don't you ask this chick who'd have a grudge against her?
The man's answer is direct and to the point. Xiaohui turns to look at Ida. Well, Ida? A grudge against me? Ida clenches her fist and thinks for a bit, but then she shakes her head. I'm sorry, Miss Xiaohui. I can't think of anyone. Could they be going after the troupe? I mean, I'm a lead actress. Xiaohui falls silent for a moment, then turns back to the bound man. Bound man, her knife raised. However, just as Xiaohui is about to bring it to their necks, Ida suddenly steps up and tugs on Xiaohui. Miss Xiaohui, please wait. Xiaohui frowns. Ida tightens her grip around Xiaohui's arm and shakes her head worriedly. You won't learn anything even if you keep questioning them, right? The show hasn't even started yet, and the troupe will have to stay here for a while. If we end up offending someone now...
Alright, I understand.
Xiaohui swipes her knife through the air one more time before returning it to its sheath. The ropes binding the men come apart, and the two upside-down tortoises fall heavily to the ground. Xiaohui leans against the two men's jeep and icily watches the two men trying to free themselves.
I'm letting you go because Ida pleaded for you. Don't let me see you again. Yes, ma'am.
The two suspicious-looking men quickly drive away under Xiaohui's watchful gaze. As she watches him leave, Ida bows to Xiaohui. I'm sorry, Miss Xiaohui. I didn't mean to stop you from looking into things just now.
No need to apologize, I understand. The troupe doesn't need distractions before the show begins.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So, I have another imposition to make. Ida puts her hands together and bows slightly to Xiaohui. Could you please not tell the others about this? I don't want the others to worry about me. Please? Please, Miss Xiaohui, please. In the end, Ida's sincere plea triumphs over Xiaohui.
Alright, I'll keep quiet about this. But if anything comes up that disturbs the show, I'll tell the troupe the truth.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a deal then. Thanks, Miss Baily. Oh yeah, we should head back to our camp. Rehearsal ought to be starting soon, and we spend enough time out here as it is. Ida hurries over to the jeep parked nearby. Xiaohui jogs after her, but she casts her eyes into the distance, toward the direction of the men's vehicle. How many people are going to be sent after her? Oh gosh. I guess we'll find out soon. Okay. Secret tears. The sound of arguing and crying are heard from a corner. Oh no, this doesn't sound good. Night falls, and the troop campsite, which was bustling with activity during the day, is calmed down as everyone retires to the quarters to rest. However, Xiaohui is quietly opening the door to her quarters. After quickly looking around outside and ensuring everything is normal, she surreptitiously drives away from the campsite. Her jeep races over the wilderness toward the abandoned town Xiaohui and Ida had visited in the day for their cultural inspiration. She parks outside the town, then dismounts before examining her surroundings on the ground.
The two of them left from here. These tire tracks look new, and they match the model of the jeep and the direction they took to leave. That's right. These are the tracks.
She follows the somewhat indistinct tire tracks, the jeep turning here and there, stopping and starting again. Finally, Xiaohui comes to a halt outside the secluded valley. Before her, dozens of vehicle tracks, all leading toward the valley's mouth.
What's going on here?
Xiaohui parks her jeep in a secluded corner and cautiously approaches the mouth of the valley. She looks for a good vantage point, which she can use to peer deeper within. At its floor, she sees several rows of dilapidated houses. Their lights illuminate the valley and the vehicles of various makes driving through it, as well as the people patrolling beside them. Even from afar, their unique style of dress instantly tells Xiaohui who they are.
Verjaegers?
Aw man, Verjaegers, of course. Ooh, Mechanic of Amiya's. She's indiscriminate if you don't get rid of the enemies and bosses fast enough before she makes all the tiles undeployable. Getting rid of both the enemies and allies, you lose large amounts of life points based on the remaining enemies you failed to defeat. Ugh! Okay, bosses who have 10 life points, you managed to get 50 life points. But your final run, you're only able to survive with 9 life points. Ugh! Amiya, you scary! But very impressive. I mean, that's my bestie Amiya. Never get on her bad side. Zahui frowns. The Variegers are endemic to the Yellow Zone, so finding one of their bases isn't exactly out of the ordinary. However, the men she caught earlier today didn't seem like Variegers. So what exactly is going on here? Just as Zahui sinks into thought, she hears a sound from nearby.
We found it, over here.
Zahui quickly ducks behind a pile of rocks and looks at the source of the sound. A pair of figures walk through the night. The one in front appears to be a girl, and the one behind is wearing a huge coat. There seems to be something familiar about them. Zahui ups the output of her visual modules, but just as she's about to study them in more detail, they suddenly turn toward her. Look out, there's someone up ahead. The speaker opens fire, and the bullet kicks up a spray of sand at Zahui's feet. Shh. The girl is already running toward her. Zahui ducks behind a nearby wall. The fact that they have managed to spot her so easily is a clear sign that they aren't ordinary people. And normally, picking a 1-on-2 fight would not be wise. However, if the one in the back is someone important, then taking them out might be a good idea too. Upon making up her mind, Zahui bursts out from behind a pile of rocks and throws her grapple rope out at the coated figure. Look out! The girl immediately turns to cover Zahui's target, but she can't swat the grapple away in time. The coated figure executes a combat roll and evades the thrown spike. However, Zahui has already launched herself forward by now. Commander! Another burst of bullets dogs Zahui's steps, drowning out the girl's words. Zahui evades them with a rapid dash, and her hand tightens around her knife as she leaps forward again. The blade slashes through the fabric of the coat, and the light reflecting from the knife's blade illuminates its wearer's face. Commander? Zahui? After a little scuffle, I explain the reason why we're here to Zahui. So you're saying that you're here to investigate Variager activity in the region? Indeed. The Elmo recently got a commission to track down these Variagers. You wouldn't have known because Groza and I set out a little after you. According to brief, this particular band has been going all out with the killing, looting, and burning. And a few broker friends of mine have reported losing stock to them as well. They're very familiar with the terrain, and we only just managed to find their base today. But enough about us. What about you, Zahui? I suppose someone as capable as you might think nothing of coming to a Variager stronghold by yourself so late at night. It was merely coincidence that I ended up here. I didn't expect that the Variagers would have their eye on my client. Seriously? Who is this client of yours anyway? She's an actress. Her troupe just arrived in the settlement yesterday, and they're preparing for a show. I have no idea why the Variagers would go after her. Perhaps it's just a misunderstanding. After all, they're performing troupe from the Green Zone, so perhaps they appear like plump sheep to these hungry wolves. I see. Still, she only arrived yesterday, and people already had their sights on her. It's quite surprising just how eager the Variagers are about all this. What do you plan to do now, Commander? Are you going to wipe out the stronghold? I'm not in a hurry to do so. My assignment was to conduct a discreet investigation. So in principle, I'm just supposed to remotely observe them. The important thing is to get a feel for their overall situation, so I won't be making contact with them or entering their hideouts unless I have to. And besides, it seems these Variagers have some kind of a boss in charge of them. They have more than one base, so sniffing them all out is going to take a while. Ugh, what a pain. She summons Teresa's. Kelsey, Manfred. Hold your custody. Like you're a Madeline. She alone. Oh gosh. And also a barrage of small enemies. Holy cow, Mia. Zahui thinks for a while. A moment later, she looks up at me. In that case, I have a proposition, Commander. Go ahead. At first, I thought this was just an ordinary case of someone trying to intimidate my client, but things are clearly not that simple since the situation involves the very Jaegers. After taking into consideration the troop's safety and the secret investigation you're conducting, would you be willing to join the troop protection mission for the time being and work with me? So the troop serves as both bait and a cover for our investigation. Heh, it does sound like a win-win situation. Yes, if anything happens, the client and the troop will be safer with you and Miss Girls around. I don't mind, but the client and troop, on the other hand, I'll speak with them about it. However, the troop's funds are limited, and they probably won't be able to pay you too well. There's no need for that, ultimately. We're both making use of each other here, and besides, Monsoon has done their fair share of free labor for me too. Are you happy with that, Leader Zahui? I chuckle and extend a friendly hand to Zahui. She is silent for a moment, and then she extends her hand to me. One that's covered in scars. That's strange. Since when was Zahui such a miser? Fixing this level of synthetic skin damage shouldn't cost that much. Before I can ask further, Zahui nods to me. Glad to be working with you, Commander. Oh, look at us, starting to get to know each other more. We're bonding. And now, bloodlust abounding. The night is time for rest, but also a good time for ambushes, of course. Both Amiya and Homura, they're just like literally the queens. And again, that's my bestie. I'm happy for Amiya to an extent, but at the same time, what comes through that kind of pain? Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Just like how I was sad with Homura. Because in Madoka, Homura was my favorite. And of course, the pain and suffering. Just Oh yeah, speaking of some pain and suffering. Because I'm not gonna get to like Anime Expo as early as I thought, or I'd want to, because I'm flying out Thursday. I hope that when I get to the Arknight booth, they'll still have stuff left that I want. And also maybe some of the freebies, because I want the freebies. Like, yo, Arknight staff, hi. May I please have that one headband especially? I want that cute little headband. Like, out of everything, please. As returning to the campsite the next day, Zahui introduces me and Groza to the troop. Just in case, I have a set of credentials ready to prove my identity. However, it seems my concerns were unfounded. Once you reveal that there's a very Jaeger camp nearby, Zahui has no problems at all convincing the manager to take us on. Soon, the troop has freed up temporary bunking space for me and Groza, while Ida has cheerfully taken it upon herself to show us around. Over here, this way please. After leading us to our quarters, Ida quickly shows us around the facilities and briefs Groza about the troop's activities. In any case, that's our performance schedule. If you guys need anything, feel free to look for me or the manager. Thank you, Miss Ida. You're welcome to look us up anytime soon. I mean, anytime too. And yeah, I'm glad I don't have to experience that ugh. After briefing us, Ida doesn't leave right away. Instead, she ends up gawking at Zahui, who's standing by my side. Zahui notices Ida's gaze and walks over to her. Ida grabs Zahui and pulls her aside before whispering into her ear. Miss Zahui, they seem pretty skilled, but the bounty hunters... Zahui looks toward me from a distance. She's a reliable friend of mine. There was something fishy about that attack yesterday, so I asked her to come and help out. I see. Alright then. Still with the attack from yesterday. Don't worry. I didn't tell the manager about it. Aida visibly relaxes and she bows to Xiaohui in gratitude. Thank you so much. I don't know how to show it, but I'm really very grateful to you.
Think nothing of it, however. For safety's sake, I'd recommend you leave the campsite as little as possible.
Sure, I won't go far. Ida leaves the room after nodding gratefully to Xiaohui. After she leaves, I smile and approach Xiaohui. Ugh. That was just difficulty 1. I can't imagine how it would be on like the highest difficulty. Just
Well, that's the leader of Monsoon for you. I'm sure Diane and the others must have had a much easier time on their travels with you around.
Xiaohui turns as she hears my voice.
Just doing my job as a leader. Is something the matter, Commander? Something's bothering me. It seems Miss Ida doesn't understand the true identity of her attackers. That does not seem to concern your mission, Commander. I don't mean to pry, of course. That was just a reminder. Rather than quibble about that, I have a suggestion. The settlement seems quite lively. Would you like to walk around it with me and get a picture of what's happening on the ground? All right.
After leaving the troop campsite, which is still under construction, Xiaohui and I walk down the streets of the settlement. The roads are covered in sand and gravel, the houses are run down, and the people are all poor. Settlements like these are everywhere in the yellow zones. The sole difference is that the one we're staying in is fairly large, which is most likely why this troop chose to base themselves here. Still, the livelier the settlement is, the more likely it is to draw the Variega's attention. I turn my eyes outside the settlement, and the thought crosses my mind: piles of rock and drifts of sand hide the land and sky in the distance. But I know that there is a lurking threat hidden in that distant valley. Just as I'm about to head outside the settlement, Xiaohui comes to a halt.
Commander. Why did you ask me to go with you? If this is meant to be a secret investigation, there's a chance that secrecy could be breached. We're working together in this assignment, after all. It's better that we interact and get to know each other. Also, things in the yellow zone can be pretty complicated. And I'm empty-handed right now. I feel better with a certain squad leader by my side. According to what I know of you, Commander, dealing with over 10 Variegers by yourself, even without a doll squad backing you up, should be a child's play for you. Besides, you have Miss Groza too. Indeed, which is why this is only part of the reason. The other reason is you, Xiaohui. The truth is, there was something I wanted to discuss with you on the day Monsoon had their concert. Unfortunately, we didn't get the chance to do so. That day, yes, it was unfortunate that we could not speak. What do you wish to talk about, Commander? Monsoon and the Elmo. I know that you're the leader of the Monsoon Squad, and you're not part of the Elmo. It's not easy for a gust of wind that's used to freedom to have to suddenly accept a new environment. I'm grateful for the fact that you're willing to stay with the Elmo for the sakes of Diane and the others. They're my friends. Yes, and you're a good leader. That much goes without saying. But even though you're the leader, I can sense that you're changing too, right now. The way you're talking to me is completely different from when Monsoon first came to help me. We're bounty hunters. We bounty hunters have keen noses. So feel free to talk about anything you want with me.
Xiaohui does not answer. No wonder why so many dolls love the commander. Like, I get it.
Or perhaps we could discuss it with Monsoon, if you think that would be better that way. It won't take long for them to come here from the Elmo, and there'll be extra hands for the commission.
Xiaohui remains silent, her face still blank. According to Jiangyu, her facial actuators were damaged in combat, and as a result, she does not show much in the way of facial expressions. But sometimes, this poker face of hers is a perfect camouflage for her feelings. I look straight at Xiaohui, silently waiting for her to answer. Just then, I hear the sounds of an argument from a nearby hovel up ahead.
It's not like that, listen to me. Those letters I sent were just... Listen to how you, if not for you, first wouldn't have. No fair, look, just listen.
For some reason, the girl's pleading voice sounds strangely familiar. Xiaohui and I exchange looks, we nod, then take cover nearby.
Enough of this bullshit. You think I'm gonna buy that goody two-shoes act? It's all because of you.
No, I really don't. I really didn't.
Hehe. Know that you're someone like this. Because of you. Shh, stop pretending already. Get lost. Get out of here.
The argument doesn't last long. Soon, the owner of the nasty voice departs, leaving behind the sound of quiet sobbing. It lasts for a while before gradually tapering off. Then a familiar figure steps out from behind the wall. It is Ida, the lead actress of the Talia troupe. She rubs her tears away as she walks. Her clothes are dusty, and her hair is a little mussed. Probably from a scuffle just now. Xiaohui frowns and prepares to stand. But I put a hand on her shoulder and gently shake my head.
Don't go right now. It might be a personal matter for Ida.
Xiaohui doesn't answer, but she doesn't move either. It's only when Ida leaves that I loosen my grip and let her rise. As expected, Xiaohui doesn't go after Ida. Instead, she fixes me with a cold look.
Why did you stop me just now, Commander? If this is a personal matter for Ida, butting in rashly would only make things awkward for her. The troupe is about to put on their show. It would be better to figure things out than ask Ida about it later. Rather than incur unnecessary trouble. This isn't the first time Ida's encountering something like this. That dispute just now was very intense. If that man keeps bothering Ida, it might end up affecting the show. We still don't know the full picture yet. Barging in thoughtlessly might only end up making things worse. In the contamination zones, there are times when minding your own business is not a bad thing. That's what Ida wants too, isn't it?
Xiaohui frowns.
Minding my own business. So this minding your own business to you, Commander. I see.
Xiaohui's expression doesn't change, but I can hear a hint of disappointment in her voice. However, this is the most sensible choice right now.
If Ida objects, then I will not pursue the matter for now, but if it affects the upcoming play, I will not remain silent. In any case, I'll look around the area alone for now. I can handle things here by myself. You should head back to the campsite, Commander.
Like, I see it's more professional. It seems Xiaohui has made up her mind. I sigh, then turn to leave. We'll discuss it after she settles down. By the time I return to the troupe's campsite, the stage at its center has begun to take shape. A group of people are gathered around it, and Ida seems to be in their midst. As I approach, Groza turns to me from where she is standing on the edge of the crowd.
Commander? What's going on here?
Miss Ida's rehearsing. Apparently there was a recent revision to a certain scene. I look at the heart of the crowd. While this is just a scene rehearsal, Ida's completely into it. There's no sign of the tears she just shed now. Shortly afterwards, Xiaohui enters the campsite too. Ida is still performing, so Xiaohui frowns slightly before standing aside to watch in silence. Soon the scene is over and the audience erupts with thunderous applause. Wow, that was a great change. It's even more moving than the previous version of the scene. I bet our tour is going to be a great success. Alright, I'm happy that everyone's so confident about our tour, but I'd like to hear from our audience too. Ida steps out of the crowd and beckons to me and Xiaohui. Hi, you two. You saw our rehearsal just now, right? What do you think?
It was very compelling. As for the fine details, Xiaohui, you've got stage experience. Maybe you'd like to field this question?
I smile, then glance at Xiaohui. She considers her words for a moment, and then begins speaking in an earnest voice.
I think your performance was very professional. Well, I arrived later and only managed to see a part of it. The girl Sola that you played was lively and animated and very likable. Her final promise to your friend was very stirring too. I'm sure it would have won the hearts of the audience, even in the green zone. However, the delivery of some of the lines seemed a little unpolished. Further practice might be required. It sounds harsh, but it's high praise coming from Xiaohui.
After hearing her words, Ida scratches her head bashfully. Oh, but that's to be expected. After all, the character was modeled after Ida.
She was?
It's nothing. Right, I need to go check on my costume with the director. It is nothing else. Let's all go take a break for a bit.
Miss Ida?
Were you looking for me, Zahui? Upon seeing Zahui hesitate, I cut into the conversation.
Zahui, shall we talk about campsite security? Yes.
Wow, you guys sure work hard. I'll leave it to you then. Gotta head over to the director's office. Ida leaves, and I ask Rosa to continue standing watch by the stage. Zahui's face is as blank as ever. Sighing internally, I approach her.
What did you find outside the campsite? Thanks to your restraint, I didn't manage to find anyone suspicious. In that case, you shouldn't thoughtlessly question Ida about it either. Commander, are you saying that you believe asking about the matter will be bad for Ida? Or that it will affect your investigation of the very Jaegers? Well, I said I was willing to work with you. I was upfront about how the investigation would take priority over protecting the troop. Currently, Ida's situation is not related to the troop, and working with you does not extend to interfering with the actors' personal lives. I do not wish to give rise to unintended consequences by doing so. In the Yellow Zone, supplies are not cheap, and while I don't know how Monsoon operates, for a bounty hunter, minding your own business is an important principle for survival.
Zahui falls silent, as though she hadn't expected me to state my position that frankly. She frowns slightly, but in the end, she simply fixes me with a calm gaze. Since you decided to prioritize the investigation, I have a request of my own. I hope that you would not jeopardize the show for the sake of your mission, Commander. Of course. I have my principles too. I'll inform you if I discover anything unusual. I hope you will keep your promise, Commander. Zahui turns and leaves after saying those cold words. As I watch her go, I rub between my eyes in resignation. This misunderstanding is only going to get worse at this rate. Is there a way to soften Zahui's attitude? What would Monsoon Squad do when they have a dispute?
Monsoon Squad?
An idea springs up into my head. I pull out my terminal and find the names Diane and Jiangyu.
I'm sorry, girls. It seems I'll need your help again.
Like, girls, I keep fumbling with my conversations with her. Help me! I need to gain more trust points with her. Please. Trust, please. In the wilderness, a jeep races toward its destination. The doll in the front passenger seat leans against the window, idly rapping on the scratch glass. Big sis, go faster. The commander and Zhao Hui will have walked out on each other by the time we get there. The doll in the driver's seat stomps on the gas pedal once again, but the only reply is the low humming of the engine as it strains under its weighty burden. Jiangyu, we've been driving at top speed for a long time now. Any faster and this jalopy will probably come apart before we even reach their campsite. After hearing Diane's reply, Jiangyu pouts and curls up in her seat. Fine. The truth is, I just want to see the commander and Zhao Hui ASAP. The poker-faced woman cruelly dumped us to take on a mission by herself. I can't wait to see her staring idiotically at us when we show up.
Jiangyu, I know you're still mad about what happened back then, but the commander didn't ask us to come in order to make things worse. You don't want Zhao Hui to truly leave Monsoon, do you?
Heck no! Why else would we be rushing like this anyway? Okay, fine, relax, big sis. I promise I won't get mad at her when we meet her. At most, I'll wait till she gets back to the Elmo before secretly thumping her a little.
That's if she comes back at all. If we can't convince her...
We still have Faye, don't we? She's on her way too, isn't she? Faye's never gotten along well with others, but even she is willing to come to the Elmo, so there's no reason why Zhao Hui would refuse either.
We can't really say, after all. Zhao Hui isn't an ex-Griffin doll.
Ah, this is such a pain. Monsoon's still Monsoon even on the Elmo, and the commander's a really nice lady too. Do we have to choose between Monsoon and the commander? Why is Hui making things so difficult for us? Jiangyi's like, I want both. Indeed, perhaps. This problem isn't just for us, but for all of Monsoon too. The interior of the Jeep is silent for a while. Diane frowns as she gazes into the distance, then floors the accelerator once again. Vroom vroom! And then no fear. I wonder how crazy the driving actually is. Oh gosh, though, driving full speed all this time, so incredibly intense. Now let's see how crazy this is. So far, so good. True, true. It's like, no lights of green and red. Why not? And it's not like we gotta worry about running people over. I hope, I think. Potentially. It is a fiery afternoon, and the Talia troops' campsite is as boiling hot as you expect. The troop members hurry back and forth, rushing to set the stage, rehearse, and prepare props. Zalhui girls and I are infected by this industrious mood and find ourselves taking part too. Suddenly, I hear the sound of happy shouting from the distance amidst the sweltering heat. Commander, Zalhui. Zalhui turns and freezes up. Meanwhile, I turn just in time for a gust of crimson wind to slam into me. The impact is so massive that I lose my balance and stumble back. Gwarg! Look out! Just as I'm about to fall, a hand reaches out just in time to steady my shoulder. At the same time, the girl who just glomped me... glomped... barely manages to correct her posture and helps Zalhui to stand me back up. I'm sorry, Commander. It was an accident. Erg, I'm okay. With my feet back under me at last, I look at the girl before me. Her long twin tails are fluttering in the wind, and the smile on her face is so bright that it makes me feel happier just looking at her. I reflexively reach out to affectionately ruffle her hair. You came fast. Almost caused a speeding accident, in fact. Ahem? It's just because I miss you so much and didn't want to be apart from you for a second, Commander. And I guess I miss Zalhui too. In any case, the moment we got your message, Big Sis and I came here as quickly as we could. Isn't that right, Big Sis? Jiangyu laughs and turns to Diane, who's only just arrived. We're not late, are we? Commander and Zalhui? There's an apologetic smile on Diane's face as she turns to the green-hued doll. Forgive us for acting hastily and coming here without informing you. You have nothing to apologize for. In the first place, decision-making authority was in your hands while I was away from the squad. Zalhui remains calm, even when confronted by this sudden visit from her teammates. Jiangyu seems annoyed by this, and gets up in Zalhui's face. Wait a minute! Why isn't your mouth wide open? Huh? Aren't you the least bit surprised that Big Sis and I are here? I am surprised. But I'm not a tickle me toe doll. My tickle me toe doll that opens its mouth when you squeeze its tummy. Tickle me toe doll. I kinda want one. Also, my emotive expression modules only support opening my mouth to a limited extent. Ah, that's why you're so annoying. Big Sis and I came all this way over and you aren't even reacting to it. You do not care at all. Jiangyu. Zalhui looks at the fuming Jiangyu in the eye and shakes her head. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I guessed why you came. As such, I have no choice but to accept your arrival and introduce you to everyone in the troop. Saying so, Zalhui pulls Jiangyu and Diane over and smiles faintly to the troop members who are gathering around them. Ida, manager, everyone. These are Diane and Jiangyu, my friends from my band. Like me, they have extensive stage and combat experience. Welcome! Are you the ones who've been traveling and performing everywhere with Miss Xiaohui? Indeed. They were interested in the troupe's upcoming play and insisted on coming by to help. Please feel free to tell us if you need anything over the next few days. We'll be in your care for the time being, everyone. Diane smiles and bows. Upon seeing how Diane is acting, Jiangyu's face lights up with a smile too. Yup. Just let me know if you need any help. I can work, fight, and perform. Oh yeah, I can do kung fu, sing, and play the drums too. Wow, really? Miss Jiangyu, can I consult you on the finer points of the fight scenes? It might end up useful in our play. Of course, in fact. I can give you a demonstration right now. Empty space. There we go. Come on, this way. Jiangyu drags Ida off to the side and proceeds to give her an energetic display of martial arts moves. Diane shakes her head with a smile as she watches Jiangyu's antics. She really does go full throttle at all time. Still, there won't be any problems with blending into the troupe now. Well played, Commander. I'm impressed. Xiaohui looks at me and her smile fades. Please forgive me. I simply didn't want to cause any misunderstandings between us. I believe that we'll be able to get along better with Diane and Jiangyu around. As for the future. Thank you for your concern, Commander. Xiaohui interrupts me halfway through my explanation. I will carefully consider the future, Monsoon Squad. Is the misunderstanding just growing? Oh no. I feel like it's just getting worse. Hey, hello. Checking out the event finally. I'm gonna see how many stages there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 I did so far, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh! Only 6 more. Decisions. Yeah, I can continue it. Second female main character. It was all misunderstanding, but the malice was extraordinarily real. It's an event in this game. I'm doing the main missions. Although there's a slight tension between Xiaohui and Diane and Jiangyu, it doesn't affect the assignment, and the show preparations are proceeding apace. The stage is finally completed by our 4th day in the settlement. The troupe decides to conduct an internal test show that night. The music stops, replaced by enthusiastic applause from the audience. One by one, the cast members take their bows, and the director waves excitedly to the audience on the stage. And that's a wrap. A big thank you to everyone for making this test show of Daybreak's Oath a great success. Following the director's announcement, the cast members gather excitedly into a group hug, as the lead actress Ida is naturally in the center of the group. Ida, you were amazing! I didn't expect the changed finale to be so moving! Sniffle! Thank you everyone! But I couldn't have done it without you, be it the script revisions or in the later performance and joint rehearsals. I'm so grateful to have your support. Ida bows deeply from where she's standing in the middle of the crowd. The director comes over and pats her on the shoulder. Come on, Ida. No need to be modest. We all know just how hard you've worked to make this tour a success. I'm sure Ferris's parents would understand your feelings if they were here. We sent the invitations out long ago, but I guess they won't be coming, otherwise they wouldn't. Ida sighs quietly and drops the subject. Then she instantly wipes her dejection away, like it never existed, and smiles as she grabs Xiaohui and Jiangyu's hands. That's right, Director. I've learned lots of interesting things recently while talking to Monsoon Squad. For instance, Jiangyu's kung fu moves look really cool on stage. I was thinking that maybe we could work them into our next production. Wow, really? Yep. I still remember that super cool flying kick you showed me. It'll be perfect for a fight scene. Also, Just as Ida begins to act out a move with Jiangyu in tow, a dark shadow falls from the sky.
Look out!
Xiaohui pulls Ida away, just as a glass bottle filled with paint hits the spot where Ida was standing just a moment ago. The paint inside it splashes out as the glass shatters into fragments, blooming into a lurid, savage flower. Before Ida can react, a second and third bottle sail into the campsite, interspersed with a hail of stones and leaving streaks of paint all over the stage. Sheesh! Hey, someone's causing trouble!
Dayan, protect the cast and the commander. Jiangyu, with me.
Xiaohui's voice remains on the wind as she leaps out of the campsite, landing behind a nearby wall. With lightning speed, Xiaohui subdues a suspicious man hiding behind the wall without giving him any time to respond. On her end, Jiangyu has also grabbed someone outside the campsite. Both of them drag the men to the center of the campsite. Despite being pinned down, they're still struggling and cursing.
Who the hell are you? Let me go! Yeah, you're just a crappy group of actors. What right do you have to grab me? Get up through your thick skulls. Stop going around doing shows and get lost now before you mess up more people's families. Shameless and harbor criminals. The lead actress Ida or whatever is a murderer. That makes the rest of you guys accomplices too.
Shut up. Xiaohui knocks the ranting man out with a knife hand strike. After seeing how his friend was killed, the other man shrinks away in terror. However, when he sees how Ida is not trying to stop this, and, in fact, lowers her head in dejection, he starts cursing again. As the verbal abuse grows louder, Xiaohui scowls and takes out her knife before pressing it to the man's neck, with a cold look in her eyes.
Hey, let's talk this out. No need to get serious. Alright then, talk. Why are you attacking the troupe? We were hired. Our client only gave us money and told us to make trouble and mess up the show. And what's all this about a murderer? I don't know either. The client just told us to say that. Yes, they got a grudge with your leading lady. He said she...
Before he can finish, Xiaohui knocks him out as well. She glances at Jiangyu and Dayan, indicating that they should drag the two unconscious men away. Then she looks at me, who is standing aside in the distance. I instantly get Xiaohui's meaning and enter the crowd before giving the director a meaningful look.
Miss Ida looks like she needs some rest. Let's end the rehearsal here tonight. Everyone should turn in early. We'll clean up the rest.
After seeing the director nod, the rest of the cast and crew obligingly disperse. Soon, the only people left in the once bustling campsites are the director, Ida, and the dolls. Xiaohui helps Ida take a seat and then squeezes her hand.
Ida, can you tell us what happened before this?
Ida's head is still lowered. She remains gloomy and silent. After seeing the seat Ida is in, the director shakes her head and sighs. Maybe I should do it. If I'm not wrong, my guess is that the clients who hired these people to attack the theater were the parents of Ida's former friend, Ferris.
A former friend? Called Ferris?
Yes, Ferris was a good friend of Ida's and an outstanding young actress. The truth is, she was supposed to be the female lead for the Daybreak's Oath. Back then, Ida and Ferris joined in the auditions for the part, and they made it through both of them. Ferris was a female lead, and Ida was the second female lead. Ferris and I both love to act. I still remember the day we met each other. Ida, who had been silent all this time, slowly lifts her head. She looks at the stage, but it seems more like she's gazing to the depths of her past. That day, I joined an impromptu drama competition. I was a rookie back then and nobody paid any attention to me. But by the time the competition ended, a girl ran over all of a sudden and praised me for doing a good job. She even pointed out all the little details of my act. We ended up talking for a long time. She told me her name was Ferris and that she wanted to become a pro actor just like me. Ida smiles as she recalls her past with Ferris. After that, we became good friends. At the time, all we had were bit parts. But no matter what our roles or scripts we were given, we would always rehearse them together so we could critique and further refine our act. Over time, we slowly became able to play supporting roles. And then, we both made it through the auditions for Daybreak's Oath, and began practicing in the Yellow Zone together, looking for cultural inspiration together, going on tour together. Those days are really happy, but Ida stops speaking, as though she's thought of something, and her smile turns bitter. 2 years ago, when Ferris and I were out in the contamination zones together, we were attacked by Variagers. The PMC assigned to protect us was taken out by the Variagers, and Ferris too. I passed out back then, was mistaken for dead, but a passing bounty hunter saved me. Everyone in the troop was heartbroken over Ferris. We had lost a great actress and a good friend. After that, everyone in the troop was grieving for her, and the lead actress role for Daybreak's Oath sat vacant for a long time. Later on, I remember that Ida and Ferris had acted opposite each other, and had her try out for the position. She did well, so we decided to permanently assign it to her. But I didn't expect that my decision would lead to misunderstanding by Ferris's parents. They thought that Ida had gotten Ferris killed in order to become the lead actress. Sheesh, what a bad misunderstanding.
Did you not try to contact Ferris's parents?
Oh, we tried many times, and Ferris's parents thought the troop was in on it with Ida and kept refusing to talk to us. Ida also tried looking for those Variagers, but they've never been easy to find, and the situation was very chaotic back then. With all the time gone by, we couldn't find any evidence at all.
And that's how the misunderstanding lasted all the way until now.
Yes, the truth is, Ida's been working hard to try and erase that misunderstanding. During this tour, Ida convinced me to change the script, and its ending as a memorial to Ferris. Frankly speaking, we weren't too happy about the change at first, but Ida went all over to gather iteration and built up experience as a scriptwriter before consulting me about it many times. And in the end, the altered script began to take shape. After we finished rewriting the script, we began preparing for our tour. Right after we finalized the show schedule, Ida sent an invitation to Ferris's parents. And you know how that went. Everyone present goes silent as they look at the glass shards and red paint spattered everywhere. Ida? Is there anything we can do to help?
Stay alert and protect the future shows. That's right. Since they rejected Ida's goodwill, they definitely won't give up easily.
Ida smiles bitterly and bows to everyone again. I'm sorry for causing you trouble. Ensuring that the show takes place successfully is part of the request.
You don't have to blame yourself for this, Miss Ida.
Zhaohui helps Ida up, and Jiangyu comes over to help support her by the shoulders. Yep, nothing is going to happen with the troop with us around. I'll be counting on all of you in the future then. It's getting late, and I also need to take care of the troop business. Oh yes, about those 2 attackers.
Lead them to us.
Miss Zhaohui, could you go easy on them? After all, it was because of me that...
Relax, we know our limits.
Several minutes later, the 2 hired attackers receive a stern talking to from Jiangyu and slink off, vanishing into the night. As I watch them fade away, I can't help but ponder the situation.
So they were hired then?
No. If they were like the people who tried to ambush Ida earlier, they're probably related to the Variagers too. Before the 2 men can flee into the darkness, I call to Groza.
Groza, follow them and see where they're headed.
How much are the parents paying? Oh my goodness. Campground Survival Guide. The best way to ensure the safety of your campsite is to ensure the enemy can't approach you. No fear. Bang, 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 bang! Out in the wilds, a petite doll is racing through a herd of Elids. She places shot after shot with deadly precision, driving away the Elids that are swarming her. Oh, that's Faye. I like how she's an axe. The Elid corpses ringing her are piled high like gruesome sandbags. Her gun is starting to heat up, but Faye shows no sign of stopping. Instead, she begins counting the bodies on the ground. 7, 8, 9, 14. Still not enough. Again. Faye scowls and then leaps up the slope of the Elid pile. Another Elid lunges at her as her gun is moving between targets. Faye rolls and throws her tomahawk, which cleaves deeply into the creature's throat. Yart! Okay, she's scary. I like her. Another body hits the floor. The impact shatters the collapsed crystals in the corpse, and the fragments land at Faye's feet. Faye quickly bends down to pick up the chunks, wipes off the icky stuff on them, and then shoves them into her pockets. That's what you get for trying to ambush me. Soon, the gathered elites have all been dealt with. Faye picks up the last collapsed crystal piece and pats her bulging pockets. That should be enough, right? I ought to be able to get a present with these. Or is it? According to the act of human interaction, presenting a gift after meeting an old friend following a long separation is a sign of your sincerity. So does this mean I should collect more crystals? I still have enough time to kill before... I still have time to kill more of these elids. Plus, the pieces will get worn down in the processing. It'll be better if I don't have enough. Faye looks up and gazes into the distance. A wisp of smoke curls into the air. It seems there are other elid packs up ahead. She mounts on her motorbike and roars over to the source of the smoke. She even has a bike. However, as she approaches the smoke, Faye gradually realizes something is wrong. Wait, those aren't elids? The source of the smoke lies just over 100 meters away, but it isn't being created by the elids. Rather, it comes from weirdly modified Varieger vehicles. They seem to have found something, and several converted junkers are pouring fire on a small hill. Shh. It's the Variegers again. Did they spread all the way over here? Faye ups the output of her visual modules and tries to see who the Varieger's target is. However, she can only make out several indistinct shapes amidst the roiling cloud of dust. Could it be stranded travelers or residents from a nearby settlement? Who cares? Those Variegers are all assholes anyway. I'll just shoot first and ask questions later. Faye revs her motorbike and rides into the heart of the dust cloud. Hey, over here! I love her angry face. Okay, you know when Faye comes out, I gotta summon her. Just based on this first interaction with her, or my first impressions of her, I like her. I like her style. And it's cute being like, oh man. Okay, you know, I should get them a gift. Oh, but what if this is not enough money? You know, better safe than sorry, okay? Like, more bodies. So please, Faye, let me summon you. Faye, you cute. To Faye's surprise, the people surrounded on the hill are actually pretty good fighters and work well with Faye. Soon the Varieger's convoy of modified vehicles is driven off. Faye brings her motorbike to a halt and runs up the hill, waving to the people behind the smoke and dust. You guys alright? We're good, thanks for your help. Thanks for your help just now. That surprise attack of yours was most impressive. You're welcome. You guys are pretty good too. Are you bounty hunters? I thought you were local res... As the people she's addressing emerge from the smoke, Faye's words catch in her throat. You guys... Yo, Faye. Surprised to see us? See, Commander, I told you it was Faye. There's no way I would mistake anyone who lugs an axe around with her all day long for anyone else. It's been a while. CZ75. I mean, Miss Faye. Yes, long time no see. Faye. I smile and walk up to the stall I haven't seen in a long time. 10 years have passed and she's changed her outfit. But her brilliant red hair still burns like fire. And the spirited look in her eyes hasn't changed a bit. I was looking forward to meeting you again. From the moment Diane told me she had contacted you. I thought we'd meet at the campsite, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Can we consider it fate that our reunion took the form of fighting side by side? Faye seems to want to say something, but she spaces out after hearing me speak. Her mouth hangs open, and her face turns red as she struggles to find the right words to say. Oh, look how blushy she is! Oh, she's so cute! Okay, yeah, I need Faye. Commander, nice to see you again. I got a gift for you when we met again. I mean, I was planning to get a gift for you, but I haven't managed to get it yet. But I've got the funds ready. Saying so, Faye reaches to her pockets, and then she freezes up. exclaims in shock as she looks down at her pockets. Unable to believe her eyes, she feels around inside. Her pockets, which had been stuffed to the brim just a short while ago, were grazed by bullets during the firefight just now. All the collapsed crystals she worked so hard to collect have been scattered everywhere, leaving only a few pieces sparkling forlornly in her hand. Ah. How could this... My collapsed crystals...
Faye?
Faye clenches her fist in frustration. She grabs her head. It looks like she's struggling to keep control of her emotions. After a while, she looks up with a bitter expression on her face. I'm sorry, Commander. It looks like your gift will have to wait. Aw, cheer up. So you dropped all those collapsed crystals you collected, so what? Just pick them all up again, I'll help you. What's important is that you met the Commander again, not some present.
Yes, seeing you here is what matters to me.
I pat Faye on the shoulder. I pat Faye's shoulder and try to console her. Faye has seemed on edge ever since we met. She hasn't said much, and what little she says comes out as a nervous stuttering. What happened to her? I remember she was rather hot-tempered in Griffin, but not like this. Maybe I should ask her about it later when I get the chance. Thank you, Commander. I'm happy to be able to see you again, too. That's right. What are you doing here, Commander?
It's a long story. You know about the troop, right? Someone caused trouble there last night and Groza followed them to another Varyager camp. Jiang Yu and I came over to help check it out, but not long after we met up, those guys went out for a walk.
I see. And after this, you're going to...
We'll be heading back to the campsite first. Groza's got a good picture of the situation here. I believe your teammates are looking forward to meeting you too.
Once we return to the settlement, Jiang Yu practically flies into the troop campsite. Big sis, Zhou, look what I found! Upon hearing Jiang Yu's voice, Diane looks up from where she's working by the stage. Faye. Diane approaches with quick steps, enfolding Faye and Jiang Yu into a hug. Zhou walks out from a nearby tent, having heard the commotion.
Faye, what are you doing here?
Zhou reflexively glances at me, and I raise my hands defensively.
It really wasn't me this time. I only ran into Faye.
Zhou then turns to Faye, who walks over and punches Zhou's shoulder. Diane, give me the location. What the hell? So you can go off by yourself and nobody's allowed to follow? The previously happy mood in the air suddenly freezes over. Diane sighs before walking over to the pair, taking a green-colored arm in one hand and a red-colored one in the other. There, don't get mad. We should be happy that Monsoon's been reunited after so long. Yeah, that's right. Faye came over to help us out. In fact, she helped us beat up a bunch of Varyagers just now. Don't be so stiff, Zhou.
Yes, Faye's skills are amazing. Also, do you have anything to say to Monsoon assembled? Alright.
Zhou presses a spot between her brows in resignation.
I was hoping that this brief period of independent action would be enough to spur you ladies into calmly considering our future. Clearly that plan has failed.
That just means it was a wrong thing to do. It's better to just be frank and speak up rather than having us all stew in our rooms by ourselves, being miserable. Isn't that right, big sis Faye? For once, I agree with Jiang Yu. Yes, I agree that face-to-face discussion is the best form of communication for Monsoon. Much like when you play a song, one must be in the scene to properly judge the audience's reaction. Zhou, while this was a private commission, you're still a part of Monsoon. Will you allow us to help you with this commission for the next few days? I mean, your business is Monsoon's business. Yeah, we'll help you if Amita gives us another job next time. After seeing the sincerity in your teammates' expressions, the coldness on Zhou's face seems to have faded. Zhou looks them in the eye and nods.
Alright.
How sweet. Look at them with the power of friendship. Next, please. Several days later, inside the troop campsite, Monsoon, Squad, and Groza intensified patrols outside the campsite for the following days. Despite the little upset during the test show, the attack we feared never came again, and the troop enjoyed a rare few days of peace. It's a relief that the troop has been otherwise unmolested, but I'm hard-pressed to find a rationale for the Variager's actions. Could it be that the link between the Variagers and the attackers from that night was purely a coincidence? Was it truly just two layabouts, with nothing better to do excepting a job from the underground? No, perhaps. I need to investigate further. There must have been something behind the scenes that I've missed. Once afternoon rehearsals for the troop are over, I seek out Zahui. As she listens to my intentions for coming here, she puts down the prop she is checking and looks at me in puzzlement. So you intend to investigate the Variagers outside the camp, right now? Yes, right now. You can tell something's wrong too, right? I turn to look outside the campsite. While things seem peaceful enough in the campsite, the settlement outside is nowhere as warm and welcoming as it was when we first came. In fact, it feels somewhat deserted. Our audience is gone. That's right. The troupe advertised this show heavily, so there ought to be more people here. However, it seems the Variager activity nearby has forced people who are planning to watch the play to abandon their plans. Commander, do you think the change in the Variager's actions is linked to how we stopped the attack on that camp that day? I can't be sure, but we both know the Variagers are mixed up in this. And besides, the Variagers have been a scourge in the surrounding region. If the settlement and the troop have been completely untouched, it doesn't make sense. I don't think it's because we revealed ourselves, and I don't think anyone would actually pay to invite those starving wolves here. Therefore, I need to head out. I need to head out there on foot and figure out what's going on, since it's very likely that Ida's involved. I'll need the help of Monsoon Squad too. Understood. I can accompany you, Commander. Ooh, me too. I haven't gone out investigating with you in a long time, Commander. Jiang Yu has appeared from seemingly nowhere and inserted herself between Zhao Hui and me, followed closely by Dayan and Fei, who turned up in front of me. Why don't you just tell us you need help, Commander? Yeah, Zhao Hui would have monopolized a scouting mission with the Commander if I hadn't secretly followed you. As I see the looks of anticipation in their eyes, I can't help but chuckle, but eventually, I harden my heart and shake my head. The Variagers are still roaming around out there, so we need to leave someone behind to protect the campsite. Zhao Hui and Jiang Yu will follow me. Dayan and Fei will stay behind and protect the campsite. Woohoo! Understood. Fei and I will mind the campsite, but please be careful, Commander. As our jeep drives deeper into the wilderness, there's still no trace of the Variagers. Jiang Yu stares out of the backseat window for a long time, but she can't find anything. Bored, she begins tapping out a rhythm on the vehicle's frame. Jiang Yu, mind your volume. Okay, fine, I'll stop now. After being reminded by Xiao Hui, Jiang Yu sticks her tongue out and grumbles under her breath. These Variagers are such a pain. There's no sign of them anywhere, and it's just a waste of your time, Commander. I can't believe we're spending our precious time off on those Variagers. I'm so mad. After complaining, Jiang Yu drapes herself over the back of my seat. Still, I'm glad I got to go out with you again on a mission, Commander. It feels just like the old days. In fact, I can't help but wonder how nice it would be if the troop could just keep performing. Then Big Sis, Fei, and I could just ignore the crappy agreement and stay with you forever. Right, Commander? Ah, yes. Ooh, also done with unlocking Phantom IS2 endings? Oh, nice. Hey. I'm so curious about Phantom, like how, especially since his other self that we can summon later on has a different name, so I'm like, but like all the others had different forms, still the same name, so what happened to him? Ooh, have fun with the karate in the morning. Tomorrow's gonna be the end of Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. The agreement. Actually, Colin sent me a secret transmission about a month ago when I was assisting 404 regarding new changes in the agreement. While quite a few dolls have already returned to the Elmo through chance encounters, I was planning to maintain the status quo for a while longer to avoid the Elmo becoming a target once again. But after seeing the gloominess and delight on Jiangyu's face and thinking about the pendant that Dayan cherished so dearly, I find it hard to keep quiet. If I can find the pilot... Perhaps I can't answer for the world, but at the very least, I can give them an answer. Commander?
Actually, you can do that right now. You don't have to worry about that agreement anymore.
Eh? Jiangyu's jaw drops and her eyes go wide. I sigh and then smile as gently as I can.
Just last month, the Non-Military Forces Administration secretly lifted part of the agreement's restrictions for various reasons. That said, it was done in secret, so I didn't tell everyone because I didn't want to alarm certain people. Also, I'm just a penniless bounty hunter right now, so all I can do is wander the land, doing jobs to make ends meet. It's a hard life.
I don't care if you're wandering or not. I'm happy as long as I'm with you, Commander. It won't ever be a hardship for me. I'm sure Big Sis and Faye feel the same way too. Oh yeah, we'll go back and tell them the good news. I'm sure they'll be really happy that if they know they can follow you again.
Really now?
I chuckle, then turn to look at Xiaohui. However, I realize that she's staring intently through the windshield, her face grim.
Commander, Variager sighted ahead.
Ooh, by the time Chapter 15 drops, all the content IS-5 should be unlocked by then? Ooh! Problem is solved. Xiaohui, catch up quick. We can wrap things up and share the good news with our sisters sooner.
Don't rush. Take care of the enemies first.
Oh yeah, speaking of things dropping, when is the event with the other Louis sibling? Oh gosh. I am tempted to buy his merch because it's gonna be available when I'm on vacation next week, but still, I'm like, do I want to commit to buying stuff for him? Like the cute bean. Temptation is real, but I hope I like him enough for that. Or else I'm gonna look at my bean sadly. But nah, he should be fine. He's cute enough. I can believe in the power of cuteness. Thanks to Xiaohui and Jiangyu's combined attack, the ambushing Variagers are soon driven off. They're saying it might come earlier than usual. Oh gosh. I want another rerun because I need to save up, but we wipe out the remaining enemies along the way, but don't see anyone else around us. In order to verify the Variager's tracks, we even pursue them all the way to the Variager camp we found earlier. However, the brightly lit campsite from that night is now completely deserted. It's as though these bandits were tipped off and vanished without a trace after shifting their area of activity.
What's going on?
Maybe they got scared by how we've been spanking them over the past few days and ran off.
No. Judging by the state of the camp, this is an organized withdrawal. Tisk, so we missed them again. Let's head over to the camp that Groza found.
We soon arrive at the other camp. However, the situation there is the same as before. Hey, where did everyone go? When I came here with Groza and the commander just a few days ago, there were Variagers patrolling around the area.
Indeed. If they packed up and left in just a few days, then where do they go?
I lean against the window and rub my forehead as I feel a headache coming on. Is there really nothing wrong with those Variagers? In the past, exterminating Variagers was not a difficult task. However, they seem to have become more cunning over the past 6 months. Their behavior we saw during their request reflects that. They have multiple temporary bases, they actively send out people to take underground market requests, and they can even conduct organized group withdrawals. A vague feeling that there is something wrong about all this turns up in my mind. It's almost as though someone is directing those crude bandits from the shadows. Unfortunately, I have no clues or proof regarding them at the moment. Aw, don't be so down, Commander. Since you're gone, the troop in the settlement will be safe. You should be happy, Commander.
It's good for Ida, yes. But it seems the bounty that the commander will receive for investigating the Variagers is going to be much smaller than anticipated. You don't hold back at all, do you?
You're right. Sorry, Commander. I didn't think about that. Still, there's no need to worry. Now that the agreement's been loosened, Monsoon will help out with the missions as long as we get to stay in the Elmo. In short, you won't have to worry about starving with us around.
Is that so? I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. There's all sorts of fun stuff on the Elmo, and a lot of old friends. Well, not just the guys in Griffin, but lots of new friends too. We'll be able to make new friends too, right? Jiangyu tightens her grip on the steering wheel, and her eyes sparkle as she fantasizes about what the future holds. Xiaohui says nothing, only listening quietly. Aww. Man, I want to head back to the campsite right now and see the look on Big Sis and Faye's faces when I tell them the agreement's been loosened up. Hold on tight, Commander. I'm putting the pedal to the metal. Our Amiya will probably just feel lots of pity for the other Amiya. Like, oh, my bad end self. The bad end, the true bad end. Like, I feel so bad for you, self. I'll try my best not to become like you. Jiangyu mutters about the agreement to herself. As she speeds all the way back soon, the jeep lurches to a halt. We're at the campsite. Commander, we arrived. Jiangyu eagerly dismounts and runs up to the nearby Diana and Faye. The flurry of wild gesticulation that follows tells me, even without hearing their words, that she's informing them about the agreement. Sure enough, Diana and Faye run up to me a moment later. Commander, is what Jiangyu said really true? Is the agreement annulled? I nod. Strictly speaking, it was because the terms have been loosened that, after the previous assistance to 404 concluded, you were allowed to stay in the Elmo. So if you don't mind following me on my wanderings, you can come back to the Elmo and stay with me permanently after the contract is finished. That's wonderful. I've been looking forward to the day when I could officially join the Elmo. To the day when I could return to your side for good, Commander. Diana strokes the pendant on her wrist. Me too. I'll follow you anywhere, Commander. Doesn't matter where you go. Monsoon Squad was always about traveling after all.
Alright, since you're willing, I have no reason to refuse you. However, it seems your leader hasn't chimed in yet.
I look towards Xiaohui. She's been keeping her distance ever since she got down from the vehicle. Jiangyu and the others all look expectantly towards her, expecting Xiaohui to respond with a smile. Dayan's expression is colored further with mild concern and worry. As expected, Xiaohui simply toys with the knife she's holding. Her expression is cool and even as ever.
We haven't reached the deadline for the suggestion yet, so my answer is the same as before. So you want me to join the Elmo? I will need to consider it, but I will not stop you.
Huh? What's there to consider? The commander is super reliable, you know. You don't need to overthink this, Xiaohui. You know, I've always been waiting for this to happen. The air turns chilly. Diane steps forward and carefully ventures a question.
I never asked before, but is there some reason that you're reluctant to join us, Xiaohui?
Oh man, the other Amiya's probably gonna just be like, look at me. Look at me in my happy days. Where have those gone? She might enjoy the reminiscing. Xiaohui doesn't answer. She simply continues rubbing the handle of her knife. Upon seeing Xiaohui's reaction, I sigh inside. I probably won't be able to get an answer out of her today. After patting the others on the shoulder, I chuckle quietly.
Well, if she needs time to think about it, and if she needs to think about it, then we don't have to press her for an answer today. The troupe will be performing for a while. You can always decide once the contract is done.
Ta-da! Continue. The week-long schedule of shows is slowly winding down. During this time, the Variagers are still active in the wilderness, but they don't harass the troupe again. The attack Ida feared does not take place, and the troupe's performance receives glowing reviews. On the night before the final performance, the troupe's campsite is brightly lit, and the members of the troupe are gathered in the heart of the campsite, nervously preparing for their last show.
When daybreak comes, I should go with...
Ida, mind your blocking. Sorry about that. A scoot over. When daybreak comes, I shall go with the wind, onward to a kingdom on the faraway clouds. Ida, your delivery just now was too stiff. I'm sorry, After the second reminder, Ida stumbles a little as she gets to her feet. Even the most clueless actor would be able to tell right now. She's not in the right state of mind for rehearsal. The director sighs and pats Ida on the shoulder. Relax, if you're not feeling well, then go rest up a little. We'll go over the other portions first. Thank you. Ida nods to the director in gratitude and slinks away from the stage. Zalhuli rises from her seat in the audience and silently follows her.
Miss Ida, when humans are bothered by something, do they feel better when they talk to holes in trees? So if there's something bothering you, why not try telling me about it? If nothing else, my color scheme is about 70% similar to a tree hole. I figure I ought to be able to provide 70% of the functionality of one.
Ida freezes up, then carefully looks Zalhuli up and down before bursting into laughter. Miss Zalhuli, is this how you always comfort your friends?
Not always, but right now, it seems to be working.
Thank you. I do feel a little better now. Upon seeing that the sadness in Ida's eyes have abated a little, Zalhuli walks over to Ida's side.
Are you feeling anxious about tomorrow's show?
Yes, I believe Ferris's parents won't give up that easily.
Miss Ida, I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but as an actor, your sole duty is to deliver your performance. Ensuring this show is safe is Monsoon Squad's duty.
Got it. Thank you, Miss Zalhuli. I'm sorry for subjecting you to that terrible performance just now. No matter what happens tomorrow, I'll perk myself up and properly prepare for it. Ida smiles and nods to Zalhuli, then turns to head back to the stage. Zalhuli watches Ida leave, noting the extra spring in her step, and then she returns to the audience seats. After the rehearsal, in a corner of the camp, having confirmed that her various tasks and preparations are complete, Zalhuli is about to head back to rest when she suddenly feels a weight on her shoulder. Hehe, ambush successful. Big sis, Faye, come quick. These events really are like a slice of life. And then there's the main story, which is drama, but A for slice of life. Having managed to grab Zalhuli's shoulder, Janghu excitedly waves the others over. Soon, Diana and Faye have arrived, flanking Zalhuli. Faced with their ambush, Zalhuli raises her hands in resignation.
I don't recall a pre-show celebration on the cards.
No, it's not really a celebration. We just have a few questions for you. Faye rubs her head, her expression turns serious. That is to say, what do you think of the commander? Yeah, we're on a rush when we came to help the commander out, so you probably didn't have much of a chance to talk to her. But now, it's just us Monsoon Squad and the commander, plus, you've been with her for so long already. Surely, you must have made up your mind about her right now, right?
The last show is tomorrow, Zalhuli. No matter what you're planning to do,
Won't you sit down and talk things through with us if we're making your final decision? Yeah, I hate how you just up and left the Elmo without saying anything. I'm sorry, I was planning to make my decision after the commission was complete and I could discuss things with the commander. I didn't think that I would cause so much trouble for everyone. Aw, who says you're troubling us, Xiaohui? You're always so decisive and whatever most of the time. Why are you all hesitant now? We've known each other for so long, so you can just tell us if you got anything on your mind. Xiaohui. You can tell us directly if you have any doubts or questions about the Elmo. After all, Monsoon's been through a lot over the past few years, and we faced it all together, haven't we? Yeah, in the past, you were always the one to come up with the plan when we ran into trouble. Now you've got trouble, so you should tell us all about it. We're a team after all. Thank you. I'll be frank then. It is true. I have some reservations about joining the Elmo. However, they're not related to the Elmo or Monsoon, but rather my past. Xiaohui looks down at the scars on her hand. A moment later, she looks up at Diane. When it comes to the slice of life, though, and based on the stuff that I heard of GFL1, you know, I'm happy how things changed for the dolls in that case because, oh, I heard so much sadness for GFL1. So it looks like things are lightening up for them here. And things would totally not go worse from this point, right? Ha ha ha. But not for reals, we'll enjoy the cute moments for now. I want my choice to be meaningful, so I'm sorry, but I can't give you an answer right now. I know, good night. Good night, sweet dreams. Daeon steps forward and gently grasps Xiaohui's hand. It's alright, Xiaohui. We didn't approach you tonight to ask you to do anything. We just wanted to tell you that you've always been a great leader for all these years. Yeah, you might have it out for me, but you're actually pretty trustworthy as a squad leader. Monsoon may not even be here if it wasn't for your ideas. Yes, I agree. I wouldn't follow orders from just anyone. So, we truly hope that we can continue traveling with you. I hope so too. And I will also seriously consider the matter of our future. After knowing that Monsoon Squad is almost done talking, I head over and knock lightly on a nearby tent pole. Sorry to interrupt, but I'd like to talk about the campsite's defensive posture for tomorrow. What do you have in mind, Commander? I believe the Variagers have not given up on the big fish that this troop represents. Those 2 attacks at Ida weren't coincidences, merely probes. Xiaohui nods in agreement. Yes, they were using them to determine how well the troop was protected. Indeed, well, the mental image of a disciplined Variagers might sound strange. If they were really planning on making a big haul, they would probably hold back until the tour was over and the troop's temporary guards were gone. I don't want anything to happen to the troop after we leave. Rather than leave those Variagers free to threaten others, I'd rather look for a chance to put an end to the matter once and for all. Was this why you kept sending Miss Rosa out after the Variagers over the past few days? And here I thought you were going to mind your own business. Come on. Come on, it's not like we bounty hunters only have collapsed pieces on the mind. And besides, I also want to... Bang! Bang bang! A series of gunshots and explosions outside the campsite interrupts my words and shatters the silence of the night.
Run! It's the Variagers! The Variagers are here!
Hump, so they came after all. Ladies, prepare for the fight. Way to ruin the moment. Faye was assigned to clear the audience out. Let's eliminate the remaining enemies. The Harkness events are a mix of emotions. Like, oh my goodness. Like heck, even the most recent one. There was some horror. Lots of horror, but there was also some funniness. And some wholesomeness. But a roller coaster. Basically a full-blown movie. And speaking of movie, I love those movie skins. And now to bonk. Ta-da! The very Yagers who attack the settlement are swiftly beaten back by Monsoon's squad and Groza's combined efforts. However, the campsite was caught in the crossfire, and much of the intricate backdrops of the stage was destroyed. Anything even remotely valuable in the backstage area has vanished. The campsite is in uproar. The troop manager is frantically shuttling between the stage, the admin tent, and the costume racks, totaling up the losses while Monsoon's squad and I help her out. Just then, an actor runs over. Manager, it's bad. Ida's gone. Huh? Tell me. Be clear about it. What happened? The cast was doing a head count just now and we couldn't find Ida. After that, someone mentioned that they think they saw several Variagers going after Ida when the campsite was being attacked. And someone was guiding the Variagers. I think it was the people who came to cause trouble for us earlier. Wait a minute. Are you saying that the troublemakers from earlier were inside men for the Variagers, and that Ferris's parents hired the Variagers to attack the troop? No, I don't think so. When you consider how Ferris died, there's no way your family would hire the Variagers. The underground markets are chaotic and hard to manage. It's more likely that the commission was to cause trouble here was coincidentally taken by the Variagers. The Variagers needed an inside man. That's right. The tour was heavily publicized, so the Variagers have probably had their eye on the troop for some time now. The commission put out by Ferris' family gave them the perfect excuse to sneak around the campsite without arousing our suspicion. Would the Variagers actually do that? Don't they only know how to wave their guns around? That would normally be the case, but it seems like the Variagers have grown a brain over the past few months. Commissions involving them have gotten harder and harder to complete as a result. While they're still fairly amateurish in actual combat, their ability to strategize does seem to have evolved a little. Damn it, then what should we do now? A sudden ringtone from a comm terminal interrupts the manager's words. The manager frowns and picks up. We instantly hear a girl scream from the other end of the connection. It lasts only a second and the girl's voice cuts off, replaced by a short-tempered voice. You heard that? Your lead actress is in my hands. Bring her ransom by tomorrow. I'm warning you now, don't try any fancy shit with me or the chick dies. The call cuts off and the campsite instantly goes silent. But soon, a cacophony of voices erupts from all around, and panic swallows up the entire troop. That was Ida's voice. The Variagers kidnapped Ida. Director, manager, what should we do? Can we really trust the Variagers? What if... Amidst the clamor, the theater manager walks over to me, a look of utter helplessness in her eyes, and tightly squeezes my hand. Please save Ida. We'll try to get the ransom together, but we can't let anything happen to Ida again.
Alright, calm down, no matter what.
Before I can finish, Zelhui has already walked up to us.
Commander, allow me to handle the rescue. I've seen enough kidnappings to last me a lifetime. Humph. Those scum only know how to bully the weak and torment others. I don't know how people live in the contamination zones, but stepping in when I see injustice being done is how I live. And that's how I've seen it happen. And now that I've seen it happen, there's no way I can turn a blind eye to it. I know that, but please wait a moment.
Zelhui's eyes narrow as I stop her.
Don't get me wrong, Zelhui. Come down and listen to me.
I massage the space between my eyes as I take in her guarded attitude and suspicions. Looks like she's really misunderstood me. Then I shake my head and look her in the eye.
Zelhui, I feel the same way as you. There's no way I would simply stand aside after seeing something like this. That has nothing to do with being a bounty hunter. That said, stopping you comes from my experience as a bounty hunter. I believe there's a better solution to this matter.
Zelhui, please let us cook. Like, come on. Trust us, we'd be fine. Inside a darkened corner of the Variager warehouse, I secretly slip a thin razor blade out from between my layers of clothing. I remember the calm look on Zhaohui's face as she slipped it into my sleeve. I've carried this blade with me all the time for situations like this, when I'm trapped among the enemy. Since you're willing to take the risk, Commander, I'll give you the blade. This blade. The blade is sharp, so be careful not to cut your fingers when you retrieve it. I feel for the blade and take advantage of the fact that there's nobody there to cut the ropes behind me and binding me. Soon, the ropes fall apart behind me, and I work my shoulders to free myself. As I tuck the little razor blade back into my thick sleeve, it nicks my fingertip and coolness oozes out from the point of contact. Ugh! Ugh, it really is sharp. I ignore the pain in my finger and fish out the micro-communicator in my collar before calling Zhaohui. There's hardly any delay before the call goes through. The plan was successful. I'm inside the Varieger's warehouse. So your definition of success is pretending to be defeated and captured so they can throw you into their warehouse, while tusked up like a turkey? Hey, it beats mindlessly charging in. This place seems lightly guarded, and the rope work is sloppy. Looks like these Variegers aren't very experienced. Oh yeah, your knife was pretty useful too. As long as you're safe, have you found Ida yet? Yep, Ida's in another corner. I think she's fainted. I'll go wake her up now. Wait for my signal. How are you and Jiangyu? Ready to move in your signal, Commander. Alright. I hang up and quietly approach the corner where Ida's lying. Ida's face is pale as she lies in the cold ground. Her hands are tied together and her tired body is curled up into a ball. I bend down and start cutting her bonds, and then I pat her shoulder before calling her name. Ida, wake up! After a while of this, Ida weakly opens her eyes. Upon seeing me, she grabs hold of my sleeve. Her eyes go wide and fill with tears. God, please help me. It's them. Zhaohui, Diane, and Jiangyu hide behind a pile of rocks, keeping a watchful eye on the nearby Varieger encampment. Sounds of merriment and an occasional laugh come from within. It seems they're celebrating their recent victory. Jiangyu pouts in annoyance as she crouches by the rock pile, bored out of her mind. I'm so bored. Why hasn't the commander given the signal yet? Be patient. Eh? Weren't you about to butt heads with the commander yesterday? Why are you going to listen to her all of a sudden? That was then, this is now. Zhaohui's eyes do not leave the Varieger campsite even as she delivers her flat reply. Oh, I get it now. You realize how trustworthy the commander is, haven't you? Zhaohui remains silent, but then a command suddenly comes over the comm channel. Zhaohui, go. Acknowledged. Ooh. We've infiltrated the camp and are poised to initiate an attack. What's the situation over with the boss? Over there with the boss? Everything is currently going smoothly. Let's begin as planned. Understood, Jiangyu, Diane. Initiate the attack. Okay, no fear. Okay, so far so good. But yeah, I'm determined to finish the event main story tonight. Eehehehehe. And then afterwards I can celebrate with a cream puff. Yes, I'm stealing one of my little bro's birthday presents. He wanted cream puffs. I'm taking them though. I mean, maybe just one or two. I'm not gonna be horrible. Good question. I think it's Cheongju who might be my strongest. Or maybe Macchiato. After setting the transmission to Zhaohui, I instruct Ida to hide in a corner. I ensure Ida is well hidden and take cover behind a nearby heap of junk, my gun ready in case we're attacked from the outside. Soon gunshots fill the air outside the warehouse. The gunfire draws closer. Someone kicks the main door and a familiar form rushes in.
Commander, Ida. We're here. We're here.
Zahui swiftly rushes over to our side, then nods to us. Jiangyu and Diana are covering us outside. Come with me. There's a side path we can use to leave their encampment.
No, we can't leave now. At least not like this.
And what is the reason for that?
I took a commission from Ida.
Zahui raises an eyebrow.
Time is tight. I'll cut to the chase. Just now, Ida told me that she recognized these very Jaegers.
Yes, I did. Miss Zahui. I've seen them before. Ida's eyes suddenly fill with anger as she tightens her grip on Zahui's arm, her voice trembling. Last night when I was brought here, I saw their leader, the very Jaeger's leader. Their leader he was wearing a necklace, I remember. The necklace was a birthday gift from her family. Ferris cherished it dearly, and she'd wear it everywhere. That's why I'm certain of it. He was the one who led the very Jaegers that attacked me and Ferris.
Correct, and so, Ida made a request of me. She wants me to wipe out those very Jaegers, to avenge Ferris. I accepted. And now, Zahui, you have a choice. Are you willing to join me in clearing this nest of very Jaegers? Of course. It's going to be more dangerous than just escorting Ida out of here.
For the first time, there was an almost imperceptible smile on Zahui's face.
It'll be my pleasure.
She's like, okay, Commander, not so bad after all. I love Ida's commission. Let's do it.
Oh, so it's your old scrap metal causing havoc in my camp. Zahui, keep a tight watch on them and don't let even one of these scrubs escape. Understood.
And then to bonk. Ehehehehe. Actually, wait, let me show you real quick. Combat effectiveness. Oh, actually, wait. No, yeah. Ta-da, you can see who they be, or how they be. I need to work on their effectiveness, but it's okay for now. Ta-da! Wee! Okay, not bad. Got rid of the hammer dude. Bonk. Now 2 remain. Get over here, you scrubs. Bonk. And then there was 1. And done. Ta-da! Zahui and I coordinate with each other and corner the Varieger leader.
What should we do now? There are no police stations in the contamination zones. We do it the bounty hunter way. Either you hold your peace forever, or you leave no regrets behind. Though when it comes to scum like that, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I spared him. Bang.
A single gunshot fills the air, and the bulky man wearing a necklace slumps against the wall.
Contract closed.
I recover the necklace from the man and indicate to Zahui that we should leave. Zahui seems a little pleased with herself right now.
Let's go.
I turn and head out of the encampment.
It's time we return this to Ida.
2 days after the Variegers were eliminated, the Talia troops' campsite is abuzz with activity. Tonight, Daybreak's oath will be performed in the settlement for the last time. Night has just fallen, and the temporary seating is packed with audience members who have come here from nearby settlements. As the show progresses, the sounds of applause or sniffling come from the seats, and when the final scene arrives, all eyes are on the girl in the center of the stage who's illuminated by the spotlights. I'm sorry, my very best friend. Please forgive me for bidding you farewell. For last night, I received word from the Goddess of Dawn. She told me that when daybreak comes, I shall go with the wind, onward to a kingdom on a faraway clouds. But my dear, beloved friend, do not be saddened by this parting. For you know, that has always been my wish to become that faint ray of light that illuminates the dark night. As she recites her lines, a twinkle of light blossoms in her hand. Cute! She holds up this radiant mote and descends from the stage onto the audience seats until finally she arrives before a man and a woman. And so from now on, as long as you see the sky at dawn, remember that ray of daybreak and know that I wish you well. Let this necklace be proof of our pact. No matter where you may be, so long as you need it, it shall become the daybreak and defend you. And with that, Ida gently lifts her hand and deposits Ferris's necklace into the couple's hands. Then Ida bows deeply to the two of them. I'm so sorry. Zahui and I watched the end of the show from an unobtrusive corner of the audience. After seeing Ida finally embrace Ferris's parents, even Zahui's cool expression seems to soften a little. A good ending, don't you think? It is good that the misunderstanding could be resolved. It was also good that you were willing to testify about the evil deeds of the Variagers. Otherwise, Ferris's parents would have found the tale hard to believe. So, does this mean our misunderstanding has also been resolved? Can you tell me about your reluctance to join us? Zahui is silent for a while and then she nods. Before joining Monsoon Squad, I was used to traveling alone and dealing with any dangers I encountered by myself. But after becoming a part of the Monsoon Squad, Dayan, Jiangyu, and Faye became my friends. We traveled together with the same wish in our hearts, just like Ida and Ferris. I once thought the Monsoon would keep traveling like this forever. While everyone kept talking about finding their commander, they were still limited by that agreement, so I believed that the day when they would do so was still far off. Thus, I did not think much about what would happen once the agreement ended, or what I would do. So when I realized there was really a chance for them to go to the Elmo, I hesitated. If everyone else in the band chose to return to the Elmo, then what about me? Zahui pauses for a moment. She runs her fingers over her knife and then looks at me. The members of Monsoon often told me about you and your shared past. So before I make my decision, I would like to know, what made you walk this path of self-exile? To my knowledge, you were not compelled to become a wandering bounty hunter. Oh, me? I look up at the sky, too many scenes from the past flash before my eyes. What exactly was it that made me choose my present course? I think the flames from that explosion, and that one-sided farewell. In order to give all that some sort of meaning, I finally chose to sign the agreement, much as I loathe its terms and the fact that I had done so. As my emotions fly into disarray, I shake my head, and my gaze settles on a nearby stage. Perhaps it was for these people, Ferris, Ida, and the audience members watching the play just like you. Perhaps I could have chosen a better, paying way of life, but if I had, I would always be taking and carrying out orders. By boarding the Elmo, perhaps I could follow my heart and help the people who need saving. But then again, maybe I just did it for myself. So I'm sorry, I cannot answer your question, because I still haven't accomplished anything yet. Is that what you wanted to hear, Zahui? Zahui remains silent, and the night shrouds that poker face of hers. She looks down at the scars in her hand, and there is a vague sense of confusion in her eyes. Once, I simply did as I was told, never questioning the rightness of my actions or the lack thereof. After that, I learned that I could choose for myself. And so, you chose Monsoon. Not just Monsoon. When I joined Monsoon, I also chose the future I wanted. So, what kind of future will you choose now? Zahui looks up. She stares into my eyes, and the confusion from before is now gone. Commander, I am not like Dayan and the others. I have not experienced the days of fighting by your side in Griffin. That is why I cannot immediately decide to board the Elmo and follow you. Of course. But of course, I would like all adults who join the Elmo to do so of their own free will. However, this commission has allowed me to get the measure of your character, and since my friends in Monsoon Squad trust you completely,
I think I can try to trust you too, Commander. In the past, I chose to travel with Monsoon Squad. Now, I think I can choose a future of traveling with the Elmo. Surely, a journey with you should be a pretty good one. Am I wrong? And with that, Zalhui watches me quietly. Well, in terms of doing good and stopping evil, it ought to be pretty good. Upon hearing my answer, Zalhui smiles and that barely visible smile again. Then from now on, the tactical doll Zalhui shall join the Elmo. Here's to a jolly cooperation, Commander. Aww, I like this. I know, right? They have to join of their free will. That's why we gotta rizz them up and offer them lots and lots of collapse pieces. And yeah, the art of this game is pretty. It is late at night, and the bustling crowds have receded. The actors have cleared away their costumes and props and are now taking a break, leaving the campsite silent at last. Just as I'm about to return to my tent, I hear a familiar and gentle voice from behind me. Commander, do you have a moment? Dayan, what are you doing here? Something the matter? I came to return you this. Dayan smiles as she approaches me. Then she extends a hand to me, revealing the intricate pendant in her palm. The thunderbolt-shaped symbol on the pendant gleams in the night. Ah, that's... My thoughts return to a time several years ago. It was before I officially reunited with Dayan. A certain request had led to the Elmo traveling near the green zone. There, I received Dayan's signal, a blue ribbon brought back by Groza after she returned from a mission in a satellite city. Without news, without a message, we were separated by just a purification zone. These are the limitations imposed by the agreement, and also a sign of Dayan's care and concern. At Groza's suggestion, I had her pass Dayan the pendant. This was a keepsake that you had Miss Groza give me. I still remember the words she told me that day. Bathed in lightning and rain, waiting silently amidst a storm, the blue-white flash shall one day be seen. That is the origin of the name Elmo, and also the promise you made with me, is it not, Commander? I carried this pendant with me during our time apart. It got me through the countless lonely days when my thoughts were of you and gave me the strength to keep moving forward. Thanks to its existence, I always believed that one day, I'll be reunited with you, Commander. You're right. The rain and storm have passed. Welcome back to the Elmo, Dayan. I looked toward Dayan, but just as I'm about to retrieve the pendant, she suddenly pulls her hand back. She holds it in her palm, looking tenderly upon it, as though she were caressing it with her gaze. Commander, the truth is, I have a request to make of you. Though we are now reunited, I've always etched the meaning of this pendant into my heart. If I might, could I continue to hold on to it? I will always cherish the spirit in which it was given. Okay, you can keep it. Still holding the pendant, Dayan gazes into my eyes, her face flushing a faint pink. Of course. Shortly afterwards in the Elmo, several dolls who have traveled from afar are now gathered at the foot of the massive vehicle. The twin-tailed girl tugs on the hand of the blue-clothed girl, hopping around excitedly in front of the Elmo. I'm so happy, big sis. We returned to the Elmo again. Oh yes, I didn't expect we'd be able to come back. And now our leader, Zalhui, has returned with us. Yep, Monsoon's back together again. Is this really alright? The agreement? Relax, the commander said that our friend in the non-military forces administration, namely Miss Kalina, will help us take care of it. We won't have to worry about the paperwork. So let's enjoy a reunion with the commander. Wow, is that the commander coming out? I'm feeling so nervous all of a sudden. Well, that's unusual. Do you think the day would come when Monsoon's best drummer is blushing? Wow, Zalhui, you're still making fun of me at a time like this. I was simply trying to add to the mood, and an opportunity presented itself. But I guess it worked pretty well, no? With a wow, Jiang Yu runs up to the Elmo and Dayan follows in resignation. Faye strides into the Elmo too. Zalhui walks at the back of the group at a leisurely pace. What does the future hold for Monsoon's squad? Zalhui looks up at the person in the Elmo who's waiting for them. Perhaps she will give her the answer.
This was sweet. This is very sweet. No, oh my goodness. We're gonna be in so much more depth now. But it's okay, you know? Monsoon Scott said that they'll never let us go hungry, but just oh gosh, oh gosh. It's okay, you know, we'll work hard to provide. Make sure everyone's happy and healthy, having good health, ha ha ha. But yeah, I like this event. It was sweet, it was very sweet. I'm satisfied. I'm glad I was able to go through it in time. Part of me was worried, so I'm like, I gotta go through it first thing this week. And I'm glad I did so. Woohoo! I feel good. And now I can celebrate by eating a cream puff. So that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your epic gacha luck. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Woohoo! Oh no, people are blowing up fireworks now. I mean, yay! What a great way to celebrate the end of this event. That timing. Holy cow, that timing.